questions about the evolution of war can be answered without expending your own blood and treasure. Consequently, militaries have sent officers to observe and report on foreign wars for centuries. The American Civil War was no exception, but the impact of these observations was muted. While the European missions gained some valuable insights on how the conflict in the United States was evolving the nature of gunpowder warfare, they'd be overshadowed by the contradictory lessons from Europe. However, this wouldn't become a problem until 1914. Welcome to our latest video on the American Civil War, in which we will devote a special episode to the European observers who came to watch the conflict and examine what they thought of the bloodiest battles ever fought on American soil.
So while I'm waiting for this perpetually late Hungarian, let's learn some educational shit, yeah? So yeah, people did literally come over here to learn from the Civil War, to watch a war. As a matter of fact, like the first Battle of Bull Run, like people literally thought that this was going to be some type of gentlemanly duel, as opposed to being like one of the most destructive and insidious wars, although for a just cause in human history. So people literally brought picnic baskets and shit out of D.C. to come watch the first Battle of Bull Run. And after shit started going south, after like cannonballs and shit started flying, there was literally a stampede of people back to Washington, D.C. But yeah, it's generally not good to come watch wars. The name of the video, What Did the World Learn from the American Civil War by Kings and Generals?
Do you know why thousands of people on...
I don't want to watch your fucking ads.
...session, the Punic Wars, the Pacific War, the Iberian Reconquista, the Russian War. During the 19th century, most people in Europe view...
What's up, Iggy?
Hey, can you hear me?
Yeah, I apologize for calling you a perpetually late Hungarian.
I was getting the mic working.
You're actually not late. You're 5 minutes early. Most of my guests are fucking late. But I figured let's start off with this video about the fucking American Civil War. Why not? Let's see why all these fucking years. Well, for one, Europeans have like an innate bloodlust. They love watching other people shed their blood. But like, there are literally hundreds of people that came over here to watch the Civil War and learn from it. What do you think of that, Iggy?
They didn't seem to learn much from it.
Europeans never seem to learn much from anything.
About the United States, beyond its role in spreading the ideals that had led to the French Revolution in 1789 and the European revolutions of 1848, as well as whatever insights made it back from immigrant communities. While publicly most governments supported the Union and rejected the Confederacy over slavery, Europe's aristocrats privately hoped for a Southern victory. This was partially because they were more comfortable with the South's planted gentry than the Northern bourgeoisie. The main reason, however, was that if America's democracy failed, it would dampen their own democratic movements, protecting the conservative order. Additionally, the war came at an opportune time for Europe's militaries. The Crimean War and the Italian War of 1859 clearly showed that new technology was changing warfare, but it wasn't clear how. The Industrial Revolution hadn't reached all the nations in those conflicts, muting its impact. However, the American North was more industrialized than most of Europe, so surely they'd answer Europe's questions about industrialization's impact on war. Finally, this was the first opportunity for most of Europe to see how the Americans fought. Only the French, British, and Spanish actually saw them during their revolution, with the rest of Europe receiving second- or third-hand accounts of the war at best. When the United States fought Britain again in the War of 1812 and convincingly defeated Mexico in 1848, Europe had been too distracted by the Napoleonic Wars and domestic instability, respectively, to take notice. This was their first opportunity to learn the capabilities of a democratic army. While Abraham Lincoln was quick to welcome European observers to the North, he only begrudgingly allowed them to access the South. However, official observers enjoyed special diplomatic privileges, which forced his hand. Given Europe's fascination with the South, it could have caused a major diplomatic incident had he refused to allow observers to cross the battle lines or come through the blockade. Thus, they were allowed to travel freely. That said, not every European power cared about the American Civil War. The Kingdom of Italy had only been unified less than a month before the war began, and was too busy forming itself to care about a distant war. Managing the fallout from absorbing the Kingdom of Naples and the ongoing tension with the Pope were far higher priorities. Meanwhile, Austria's observers' reports weren't taken seriously. The United States and Austria had always had limited official contact, and the deeply conservative Austrian military was highly resistant to reform. Austria only reluctant.
Isn't that where your ancestors are from, Iggy? Weren't they part of the fucking Austro-Hungarian Empire or whatever?
Yeah, the Hungarian part.
Ooh, fancy.
Began modernizing its weaponry following its defeat in 1859, and the initial reports from its observers confirmed the conclusions reached from that war. The emperor and his leading generals consequently lost interest. To them, the American war was just a minor curiosity. Later reports raised serious questions about the readiness of the Austrian army for modern war. It would take a later defeat to force stronger reforms. Similarly, the Ottoman Empire sent formal observers to the United States, but it's not clear what, if any, lessons were learned. The Ottoman army had just gone through a very difficult period of modernization prior to the Crimean War. That war found the army still lacking, but there was little desire for more reform in the 1860s. As such, the Sublime Porte filed away and largely forgot the reports. Meanwhile, the Russians officially showed minimal interest in the war, but it wasn't from a lack of desire to learn from it. Russia had been shocked and humiliated by its defeat in the Crimean War, and was already undergoing military modernization, which wasn't going smoothly. All the Tsar's resources and energy were being spent pushing through the current round of martial and domestic reforms, which the deeply conservative Russian military and aristocracy were pushing back against.
I just don't get conservatism. Like it should be like your goal to like learn from and adopt, especially if you're like a military man. You should try to learn from and adopt the most cutting edge. Like America was basically one of the most cutting edge countries at the time. Like literally had fucking Gatling guns that were being used. And here you are in your old stodgy European aristocratic bullshit, not learning anything. No wonder they kept getting their ass whooped. Anyways, it's 7 o'clock. We've got Comrade Iggy here. Heard you've been going through it the past few months, buddy.
Yeah, it is what it is. It's all part of the job, being a communist.
Yeah, I get it. So where have you been? I was trying to message you and talk to you and call you, and I did not know where the fuck you were. Where'd you go?
I was in Fairfax County Adult Detention Center.
You were in jail?
Yeah.
Well, why were you in jail? What'd you do?
So I have pled guilty to 4 counts of property destruction in Loudoun County.
Did you blow up a swing set? You can't do that.
No, it honestly, like I hate the fact that this is the thing I'm getting notoriety for.
Would you rather have notoriety for blowing up a swing set, allegedly?
Allegedly, that sounds cooler. No, so I pled guilty to 4 counts of destruction of property. It was a propaganda operation for solidarity with Palestine, targeting Starbucks locations in Loudoun County. Now it wasn't my plan. Like I think there's better targets to start with than Starbucks, but I do stand by everything that I said. Yeah, yeah. There's the article that the sheriff put out about me. Yeah, they SWAT came to my house. I think he might be on mute.
Oh, I'm sorry. So wait, they sent the fucking tactical unit to your house for supposed like minor property? Why?
So they specifically cited the political nature of the graffiti.
So if you were just allegedly drawing a dick on the Starbucks, they wouldn't have sent SWAT.
No, well, so it's interesting because when we were looking at to judge the response of like, you know, your average Joe in Loudoun County to the language, people were responding like, "Oh, well, you guys didn't do anything about the Nazi graffiti that somebody spray painted on a school, which is an actual hate crime,
Yeah.
and is actual hate speech, whereas what we spray painted was not hate speech." So, yeah, so the political nature of the events was like specifically cited by the people at my house. They brought
Not
it
just
to me.
not just the political nature, but the anti-Zionist left wing political nature. Like you said, they did nothing about literal fucking like fascist political speech.
Yeah, they didn't bring the feds in for that, and that's because the people who were pushing this are themselves fascists. So that would be
Yeah,
blue on blue for them.
yeah. So it's not gonna. Yeah, if I recall correctly, there was a yeah, like they. It might have been cops' kids. Hell, it might have been cops themselves that engaged in this. There was a kid whose mom was a cop that carried out a school shooting in Florida, if I recall correctly, last year or year before last. But like, you don't hear about that shit anymore. Whereas Columbine and Parkland, you hear about that shit ad nauseum. So like, yeah, they're definitely good at sweeping shit under the rug when it's their kids or their colleagues or people that are otherwise affiliated with the police that carry out these fascist acts. Like, how many of these fucking ice pigs, how many of them were Proud Boys a few years ago? How many people that are currently wearing badges are like go out and drink or go to the range or go hunting with or generally hang out with people who are little fucking open fascist organizations?
I mean, I've seen even MPD just like openly collaborate with them. So like, it's definitely happening. And it makes sense. Like, honestly, this whole experience has just like confirmed a lot of my assumptions.
Yeah, assumptions that okay, yeah, these people are basically one and the same.
Yeah,
Like
I
when
mean,
we say, like when we shout out like cops and Klan go hand in hand, we're not being rhetorical. Like we literally mean that because, as you say, this whole experience, like for what reason would they send the for what reason would they send the tactical unit to a dude's house for what basically, if it was done by anybody else, would just be chalked up as a childish prank?
yeah, and that's part of it is like, this is like, I think the craziest thing that's ever happened to me, right? So
Well, no shit, buddy, you just went to jail.
yeah, so like, there's like the, I feel like I have been handed some responsibility to talk about what happened, especially what happened to my partner, right? And I have been I've been like you know, like, I feel like, yeah, I do need to talk about this, but then also there's this contrast between the extreme severity of what was done by the state and the kind of like, I don't know, almost frivolous activity, right? Like my
Yeah, right.
my
Like
probation.
then, yeah, like y'all didn't like nobody got hurt. Y'all didn't burn the fucking Starbucks down. It probably took them what like half a day to clean the shit off. Like
Oh,
it was.
the damages I had to pay were like, I think 1,200 total for all 4 locations.
So yeah.
So
So
yeah,
that's what 400 bucks a location.
yeah. Because I was
Yeah,
charged with like petty property crime, so like less than $1,000 per
yeah.
account.
But it just
Um,
shows that like you're kind of like me. You're an open Marxist Leninist Maoist, right? So these people are fucking frightened. Like whenever I hear reactionaries talking about communists as being like inherently dangerous, they either mention Maoists or they mention anarchists. Those
yeah,
are the two types of leftism that they see as being the biggest threat to the continued functioning and good order of this fascist society.
yeah. No, that's like been the defining characteristic of all state forces that I've interacted with throughout this entire process. So this has been going on for just over a year now. because the raid was on the 30th of last year, of 30th of October last year. So the defining characteristic of all state actors that I've interacted with has been fear. They drug my partner out of the house naked, right? They snatched her up out of bed. I didn't let her put clothes on. And my partner's also an open Marxist-Leninist Maoist, but I think she prefers the term anti-revisionist. But she was being held by a Call of Duty cosplayer, right? Full kit, with a mask and like the goggles and everything. And the thing she said to him was, "Are you cold?" And he's like, "I'm sorry, are you cold?" And then she goes, "No, are you cold?" And he goes, "No, why?" She goes, "Because your hands are shaking." Because they were all fucking super keyed up.
Like, bro, I fucking met you. Like, you were about as threatening physically as a fucking field mouse. Like, you're basically a little short white dude. Like, what the fuck would they be afraid of you for?
I mean, like, my primary, and the thing I am proud of, like, unequivocally, is my, like, serve the people campaigns I've been involved with, right? Like movie night for the kids and stuff like that. So, like, when I think of the things that like define like Iggy's work as a communist, it's like childcare and like feeding people and like talking to tenants and stuff like that. And they're talking about me like they're comparing me to like fucking Al Qaeda and shit.
Ooh, spoopy.
Yeah,
spoopy Iggy.
It's because I said victory to Hamas, which, of course, victory to Hamas.
Victory to Hamas, indeed.
It's been a year, and I haven't been able to say that under not even the advice, the demands of my lawyer.
Yeah, you should listen to your lawyers.
No, I got a badass lawyer. I was telling everybody, I'm glad out of all the targets they picked, they picked me because I'm a hard target. So I don't think they expected me to be able to deal with this, because they went after my job. They went after my family.
Yeah, they always do.
I think they were hoping that they could just isolate me completely from my community and from my support system. And I'm profoundly lucky that I had a resilient enough support system that didn't happen.
Yeah. Because that's what they, Comrade in chat just said straight out of the playbook of J. Edgar Hoover. Like, because they really don't, like, they will still, like, just show up to your fucking house and shoot you. But they know if they do that, that galvanizes the movement. Because look at what happened after Fred Hampton got murdered. He was a martyr. So they are less in the business of making martyrs nowadays. Although if you piss them off bad enough, they still just will kill you. But, like, that's why the internet is so insidious, because it's so easy to spread rumors and gossip and bullshit about people. J. Edgar Hoover would have loved Twitter, because I've just seen so much unverified misinformation, so much bullshit that's been spread by, I don't know, jilted exes or people who don't like the way somebody else organizes, and all types of weird ass allegations. People just swallow it up, because if there's one thing that the left loves more than losing every fucking thing, it's drama and gossip, which is part of the reason why it loses every fucking thing more often than not. So, like, their goal mainly nowadays is to isolate you, like you said, isolate you, split you off from your friends and family and your community, make your org throw you out by spreading gossip and rumors, and basically, like, they want you to do yourself. They don't want to have to do you. They want you to do it to yourself. They want to make you so fucking. They want to make you so fucking miserable. They want to make you. That's why, like, I keep seeing people talk about all the various, like, interpersonal weaknesses on the internet. Like, you should have to, like, why would you give the enemy information that they can use against you? Like, if you offer them cards that they can play or buttons that they can push, they're gonna push the fuck out of them. Like if they know that because you talk about it in every fucking Twitter post, if they know that you are prone to major depression or various other things of that nature, they're going to play on that. These are not leftists we're dealing with. These people do not care about being ableist or anything like that. They will use that shit to hurt you. So I've talked a lot in the past about the dangers of oversharing on the open internet and in public with people that you do not know or people that are not accountable to anybody. And like these people are not your fucking therapists. You don't know who the fuck you're talking to. So yeah, just something for comrades to keep in mind.
Yeah, especially since like when they do look for how to disrupt our movements and our organizations and our lives, they look for vulnerabilities, right? So if you have a vulnerability, you gotta like not let the other team see your cards, right? Like, and I think another way to breed more resiliency into our movements is to cut out the gossip shit. Like, I understand that it gets clicks, it gets engagement, right? And we are all kind of playing by their rules on these platforms. But that time we were all waiting for is either now or like a couple weeks from now, right? Like it's happening now. So whatever plan you were making for how you were going to act when it happened is what you should be doing now, or what you should be preparing to do now.
Yeah, I mean, look at what happened in your neck of the woods yesterday. Like, they basically, so you had this guy. He was basically a former U.S. Special Forces lackey in the Afghan army. He was brought over here as part of like a resettlement program because the Taliban was going to kill all these guys because they were American lackeys, and no country suffers traitors for very long. So basically, Trump was getting ready to deport this guy back over there to an almost certain death. And the narrative is apparently that he just fucking, like, he had a lot of remorse and guilt about the fucked up shit that he participated in at the beck and call of U.S. Special Forces. So, guy allegedly drove all the way from Washington State to D.C. with a revolver and carried out the incident that happened yesterday. So, like, we see shit escalate. And, of course, Trump is going to use this. His lemmings are baying for blood. And now he suspended all asylum applications from, like, almost 12 countries, Afghanistan, which is one. And, like, that's the thing. Like, when the same thing happened to the Kurds. Like, America used these very brave, glorious people up and then fed them to the Turks.
Yep.
So, like, do not work for American imperialism. You're not going to have, like, you think you're being slick, you think you're getting over, but at the end of the day, they're gonna use you up, and they're gonna hang you out to dry, and you're gonna be pissed, and you're gonna do shit like dude did yesterday, and you're not gonna have a good time.
Well, the other thing is, I don't know what the CIA said to him to get him to do this, but I don't think he's going to get whatever they agreed to.
Yeah,
like this is like 100%. This is 100% CIA. Guy's got CIA ties. Like, even my folks are saying that it's CIA. That it's too convenient. And also, like, when people are going to do when people do like these sort of like random acts of violence that come out of PTSD and shit like that, and like a mental breakdown, right?
Yeah,
they're gonna pick a close target, like nearby them, or they're gonna pick someone specific. It wasn't specific, and he also drove across the country. I'm saying, like, I think this was targeted, and I think I think he was used.
Yeah, very possibly could have been. Like I said last night, like this reeks of an op, and. Hold on, let me pull up. There was a similar incident that took place in Fairfax County, Virginia, right by you, last year. Hold on. This is and basically same situation. Former U.S. Army lackey that work with special forces, CIA, all those lovely folks, and realized that he had gotten fucked. Hold on. But yeah, don't work for imperialists. They're not going to help you. This isn't the first thing.
At approximately 2:35 p.m. on April 23rd, an officer from the Fair Oaks District Station was conducting traffic enforcement in the 4000 block of Majestic Lane near the Greenbrier neighborhood when he stopped the driver of a 1999 Toyota Corolla, 36-year-old Jamal Wally of Fairfax, for an expired safety inspection.
From what I've heard, like this particular part of Virginia this is where they resettle a lot of these people at. I know, like they resettled a lot of the South Vietnamese from the Vietnam War era. They resettled a lot of them in California, or a lot of them ended up in suburban DC as well.
Yeah. We worked with a lot of Afghan refugees, and when we were building our tenants union in West Side.
Yeah.
Fairlakes Parkway, 4236.
That was a heck of a stop, sir.
I have a gun and I'm armed. I'll let you know. So why did you pull me over?
Your inspection sticker expired
yeah, they
last.
know. Call Joe Biden or call George Bush.
What's your driver's
No,
license?
there's no.
Dude just fucking came out on 100. They're like, the first thing he said to the cop was, "I'm armed. I have a gun." Call George Bush. Call George. Like, dude came in on one.
I don't have a driving license.
Why not?
Go back, sit in the fucking car and leave.
Holy shit.
No?
It doesn't work that way.
Okay, so go ahead, do whatever you want to do.
Can I get your name?
No?
No?
No? You're fucking killing me. You fucking people don't get a disability. I have kids and I have a lot of fucking bullshit things. So why you fucking treat me this way?
Said 80. Can I get a supervisor to my location, please?
You fucking dumbass fucking people. You fucking asshole.
Majestic.
I can't even.
Did he just call that cop a pig? Did he just call that dude a pig? That's amazing. He's already been like, yeah, he was at the end of his rope. Like, this is a crash out. This is what happens when you mistreat people, when you abuse them. And yeah, this man is on the last end of his rope. The last thing he needed was cops showing up waving badges in his face. That dude's out here riding around on a fucking 99 Corolla with no license. He's already fucking at the end of his rope.
Go back to my fucking country because of you fucking people. I started in fucking army.
They're not supposed to conduct traffic stops for expired plates and shit like that anymore.
In that area?
Yeah, it's like it's something that the progressive Commonwealth attorneys put through, I think. Yeah, they're supposed to send you a ticket in the mail if you don't stop. I guess he stopped, but yeah, they're not supposed to go over to that.
Huh.
Do you have the registration to the vehicle?
Nothing.
You got nothing?
Nothing.
All right.
Yeah.
And you don't want to give me your name?
Sir, why? Look. Hey, I died when I was serving you with you liars, with you people, with American standards.
I served as well, sir.
Yeah. So you brought me to this. You fucking people brought me to this goddamn country, and I'm dying every fucking single day, and I have 4 children, and we wholly survive because you're a fucking racist people.
Okay.
Yeah, because I can't get a job, I can't get a disability, and they took my fucking license because I'm not able to pay the insurance. So why are you fucking trying to kill me?
I'm not trying to
No,
kill you,
you
sir.
are. I'm already died. I don't give a
Said
damn
80
fuck.
subjects armed, refusing to give ID. Don't reach for anything,
No,
dude.
no,
Don't
no,
unbuckle that.
I'm telling you, don't reach. I'm telling you, don't reach. I don't
Subject
give a
keeps
damn
reaching.
fuck. I don't give a damn fuck. If you fucking do anything, don't do anything.
Subject keeps reaching for his weapon.
No, I'm not. I'm not.
Okay. Just all you to be able to tell us over your restricted 1439.
Sir, I stopped you for a lawful traffic stop.
I don't give a damn fuck.
Okay.
You liar.
I'm not lying.
No, you're
It's
lying.
obviously right there.
You are no. Today's
So
the
what
day,
I'm-
buddy.
what I'm
Today's
asking
the day,
for
fucking
is you to
dumbass
identify
liars,
yourself.
White people. You lied for 25 years.
Alrighty, Bravo. You drive from that.
You brought me to this country. I served with special forces. I lost my own fucking brother. I lost my everything.
I'm sorry.
I have nothing.
I'm sorry to hear that.
No, you're sorry to hear that. No. Don't play that bullshit.
So you don't have a registration to the vehicle?
You know what? Listen, hey, you're American, okay?
Yes.
Yes, you are American. I give you my fucking, what do you call that shit? Take it. They took my driving license.
So
Okay.
they took it away?
Yeah, for no fucking reason. I have a hard time with court. I'll show you the paperwork. You won't
Okay.
believe what they say. They don't. When I call them bullshit. The system is fucking broke.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it sounds like you're going through a really rough time.
Man, I should have served with fucking Taliban better than you. I was concerned and a fucking dumbass fuck when I was concerned about Taliban, but in America, since 2014, I'm concerned about more about you people because
Okay.
you lie, because you play games. That's how I'm going deeper.
Okay.
Yeah.
So these are my partners here. They're coming up. I don't want you to get rattled, but it's because you were reaching for your weapon.
No, I'm not being sir. Hey,
I
sir,
watched you do it.
I don't give a damn fuck. It brings as many people as you can.
Okay.
Go ahead. You're not listening. What I'm
I
telling
am
you,
listening to you.
I have 4 children. Do not reach your gun.
Yeah, Bravo. Everybody slow down. Units match 1080. Slow it down. 1441.
Hey,
So-
listen, American. This is take it. I take this with you, okay?
So now you want to give me that?
Hey, don't you reach?
Hey.
No.
That was the death of a true pastor warrior, if anything else. He gave them multiple opportunities to leave him the fuck alone.
You get to see like the two. So I've been studying cop culture from like an anthropological perspective during this process, and I've noticed there's like your two capo types. You've got the guy who's like, man, it seems like you've been going through a rough time.
The good
Right?
cop.
Yeah,
The
and then you
good
have
cop.
and then you have the guy who sneaks up and shoots you for no reason. Those are the
the
two kinds of cops.
Bad cop.
Yeah, exactly.
And the good cop works with the bad cop. Like, he set it up so that, like, you sitting there talking to the guy, trying to bond over their mutual service, trying to express empathy and all that. And then meantime, you got the bad cop that sneaks up from his right and starts shooting.
You want to see the video? We made a kind of a sick edit of the second arrest in Alexandria.
Is it on Instagram?
It's on Instagram. It's on the Red page.
The red page.
Formerly FTP DMV.
Oh. Fucking squawk from the radio says you're sweating. I'm sorry. Oh, it's on Facebook?
No, it's on Instagram.
Oh, boy.
Landless, that happens like all the fucking time. I'm surprised it doesn't happen more often. Most of the times I've been like flagged in my life, like even having gone to the range with like some pretty dumb people. Most of the times I've been flagged by Alexandria cops specifically.
Mm. Yeah, that is not surprising. Cops are notorious for shooting each other. There were some cops in St. Louis. One dude shot one of his partners because they were in the fucking apartment drunk playing Russian roulette.
Oh my god. I think I
Yeah.
read about that.
Hold on. Let's police. Yeah, Nathaniel Hendrick. He hold on. Yeah, this was a few years back. This was in 2020. Yeah. So he pled guilty after shooting another because they were playing Russian roulette. Caitlin Alex, she was only 24. Yeah, there she is. So, yeah, they were fucking around, dry firing the handguns, and dude put one bullet in the revolver, spun the cylinder, and then pulled the trigger. And then she took the gun, pointed it at him, pulled the trigger. Then he took it again and shot the girl in the chest. So yeah, that's what our cops get up to out here in the Wild West. Yep.
Was alcohol involved? That sounds like
Of course
involved.
Of course there's alcohol involved. I don't know, Iggy, if you and me are hanging out, if I come back to DC and me and you are hanging out, and I pull out my fucking revolver, and we just start playing fucking Russian roulette, don't you think there's going to be alcohol involved?
Well, listen, I would never be around either alcohol or firearms while on probation.
Smart Iggy.
Of course, they were on coke. They're always on coke.
Oh yeah, that's their favorite. Coke or pills or meth.
Yeah. I have a pet theory that anytime you see coke that's got fentanyl in it, that's just them. That's the cop gang.
Yeah. Yeah. Because why would you mix those two?
Exactly.
Like, why would you? Those are two entirely different categories of drugs. But anyways, I think a lot of them, like a lot of these cops, like that cop that killed the Afghan brother, like a lot of these cops are ex-military. Like they pick up this drug habit in the military, like go pills. They literally used to hand out amphetamines to people. They still do. Like it's so easy to get a fucking anti-prescription in the service. Have you read Seth Harp's book?
I don't think so.
The Fort Bragg Cartel?
No,
Yeah.
That sounds interesting. I used to live on Fort Bragg.
Yeah, you need to get this. You need to get it. I recommend it to anybody that has like any interest in spicy boy shit, special forces, all fucked up shit they're involved in. You need to that is the seminal work. Seth Harp used to write for Rolling Stone. I think he still does, but very well researched, and that shit'll literally make you sick, bro. Like they literally had like bulk sums of money, like millions of dollars, just cash sitting on pallets. They would bring that shit home, take to their bodies. Like it's like you said, it's a gang. They start They start the shit in the military, and then they get out of the service and they join the police forces, either their hometown police forces or they move to a bigger city. And that same type of bro machismo, I can do whatever the fuck I want culture, it continues. Like a lot of these cops out here killing people, they were kicking in doors in Fallujah 20 years ago. If they're veterans, if they've been around for a while. If they're younger, they got their fucking teeth cut their fucking teeth in Kandahar and Kabul. But like it's basically like it carries over. It's like they see themselves as being like that whole thin blue line shit. This is my profession. My profession is to kill. I killed over there. Now I'm here to kill. That's all it is. Kill, 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 kill. Contribute, produce nothing. Just kill, murder, death.
And they all those relaxed grooming standards, guys. The only way that they're able to do that is they're high functioning alcoholics.
Oh yeah. Shit, not even high functioning anymore.
No. Yeah,
look at these people. Like they're always crashing their cars. Everybody knows the statistic that I believe 40% of them beat their wives, abuse their wives horribly. They're always getting divorced. Like None of their relationships last. Their kids despise them or fear them or are terrified of them. Like these are not they're not alive unless they've actually got their hand on a weapon, unless they're standing over a corpse, or unless they're standing over some poor fucker's property, some poor fuck's weed that they beat the shit out of them and confiscated. That's what makes them feel alive, because the rest of their these are just shitty people. Like they cannot function in normal society. They're sociopaths.
Yeah, they're sex freaks too. I got a little history lesson in Fairfax County Jail about when they used to be feeding folks like loaf and shit like that. And they got sued.
What is for the benefit of our 412 viewers? What is loaf?
So the loaf is it's Nutriloaf. That's what they give you when they're mad at you. So they take all the vegetables that they would be feeding you, and they grind all that shit up in a blender, and then they put that in like a bread tin, and they bake it, and they serve that to you.
So it's like a vegan meatloaf.
Yeah. Well, no, they put meat in it too, I think. And they try to find stuff that's going to taste nasty together.
So they basically grind up a bunch of nasty shit, and like they make it be like, okay, yeah, we got to feed you. We ain't got to feed you nothing good. Like it's basically like punishment. You're grounded, except you're a grown up.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of that. I got told that I was not making my bed to standard, and that it was very important that I make my bed. So there's a lot of that. They teach you. I mean, in a way, it is. My partner was telling me about this, like how, I'm not really an adult when I'm in their custody, right? Like I no longer can make decisions for myself. So
yeah, you're under their dictatorship. Basically, like you got to do what they tell you, or they'll force you to do. Like they'll force you.
Yep.
It's like you're a little kid again. Like you're in jail, you're in punishment, and like they feel that they basically own your ass. Like they issue a number, and you are. I mean, they'll still call you by your name, but like for all intents and purposes, you are that number. You're a thing, an object.
I was 6. They didn't even use my name because they couldn't pronounce it.
So number 6.
Yeah, I was number 6 the whole time. But yeah, so like they used to serve loaf, and then they also got in trouble for impregnating the female inmates.
The whoa?
Yeah. I guess this all happened. Like
who made the female inmates pregnant?
The deputies.
The deputies for being there.
Dude, I'm telling you, they're all sex freaks. They're freaks.
So they were in their
weird sex stuff. I think there was some weird sex stuff that went down to my house. I'm not sure how much of it I can talk about, but I know it's weird sex stuff. The little things they did when they were breaking all my shit.
So they were in there raping the female prisoners.
Yeah, and that's going
because really like because like if
you're in their custody, you can't consent to anything the whole time.
And then it's an abuse of authority. Like if you're in there, for one, I wouldn't even have like this would never happen. But like say I was, I don't know, a warden, I would not have dudes working around women prisoners. Too much shit can happen. Like what the. So and then they got the women inmates pregnant. So if a baby is born in jail, like whose baby is it? Like what happens to the baby?
I don't know.
Do they take the baby and put it in a home or something? That's fucking disgusting. That's fucking disgusting, dude. Because obviously you can't keep the baby in jail.
I'd hope you just get out. That's. I know that's not what they're gonna do, but I mean. I think if you
I've heard cases of this happen. I've heard cases of this happening like in the feds, and they take the baby. I did not hear about this happening in like a fucking. That's fucking nuts, bro. That's sickening. It's disgusting. No, I'm just like even more convinced that America must burn just because of that alone.
Like I said, it confirmed all my assumptions about who the enemy is and what they're like.
That's disgusting.
Every time something like okay happened, I realized that the only reason okay things were happening is because either there was a jailhouse lawyer before me that successfully argued you can't do that, or there was a class action lawsuit that they got sued for millions of dollars. So now their supervisors say, "Hey, you can't do that."
Yeah, like that's fucking like you seriously have to be told that if you are trusted with the custody and care of women inmates that you should not be fucking them and making them pregnant.
Yeah.
Those fuckers need to be hanged, dude. So how long were you incarcerated for?
So altogether it was 34 days. So I did 4 days in Loudoun and 30 days in Fairfax.
So yeah, what was the like, because this talking about repression, comrades should like have some, I guess, understanding of, because like you basically, like, it was just like you said, it was petty vandalism. So yeah, not just over a month, right? But like, if shit gets further and further south, we're gonna have people looking at years in actual penitentiaries, not just jail, right? So obviously, they didn't send you to the penitentiary. But like, what was the experience like?
It on some level it was like exactly what I expected, and on another level it was different than that. Like, and I know the jail that I was at was pretty sweet. There, like, I wasn't really worried at all about like the other inmates. The only thing I was worried about the whole time was like specific deputies. That I was worried about doing something.
Yeah, they had it in for you. Or they didn't like commies or something.
Yeah, I mean that's. I don't know if it was personal, but I would say it was a communist.
Or like, yeah, probably like all on duty Proud Boys or something. You know, a lot of those, when those Proud Boys, when they used to get doxxed, like a lot of them worked. They I think saw only like maybe like a handful of like Proud Boys that were actual fucking cops, but there were a shitload of them that were like security guards or jail COs or prison COs. Like, they sought out positions like that.
Yeah, I mean, and again, I think that's going to be more of a factor in other locations. But the one thing I kind of want to talk about is like the human mind and the human body has an amazing ability to adapt to new situations. So like my lawyer warned me ahead of time. He's like, after 10 days, you're going to realize that you can do this. Right. And after 10 days, I was like, this is just where I am. So Comrade sent me a lot of books to read, which is very exciting. Because I didn't know who was sending them. So I kind of like try to figure out the like psychological profile of, because I'm like, I think you can tell a lot about a person by like what they think I would want to read in that scenario. So I got a very horny book about Trotskyists in space. That one was pretty cool.
I didn't send you that one.
I got a book about gay World War I veterans. That one's actually really good. Like genuinely, like really good. And then I also read off the book cart. So I finally sat down for some light reading and read Blood Meridian, just to keep it, light and happy.
Yeah, because if you read a bunch of like heavy theoretical shit, you probably lose your fucking mind.
Yeah, so I did. I met some comrades in there who were like concealing their power level. Who I think they identified more as like Pan-African communists, but they were like definitely fans of Mao. So then I was like, fuck it, guys, send me like the whole political education kit. So
did you send them? Did you give them the join DSA link?
I couldn't give them a link. I'll give it when they get out. But I got we had no internet in there. But we did have I got some Lenin, like your basic stuff, like imperialism, the highest stage of capitalism.
Yeah, shit you've already read.
Yeah, but I have never seen someone greet Lenin like an old friend. Like literally like they were like, that's that real shit. It was awesome.
Yeah.
So I started a little reading group. But I mean, like the reading group was kind of already there because they were passing around Blood in My Eye. When I like already. And that's actually the first time I sat down and got to read like the whole book. Which that was a bit like I try to be suspicious of epiphanies, right? Because like you gotta like real change comes.
They actually allowed them to have George Jackson's books in jail.
Yeah, we speculated.
They've banned him in California. Like like they literally have a list of books that you can't read, and I think George Jackson, obviously like a little fucking prison rebel who launched a rebellion in that exact same system. Like, yeah, they're probably not going to allow prisoners to read Soul Dad, Brother, and Blood in My Eye.
Well,
never mind
the fucking book cart. It was on the book cart. I have no idea.
Did these people actually know who George Jackson was?
That's the thing. I think I don't think they read it.
They probably just thought it was. What did they think it was, like a medical book or something?
I have no idea. I think like
that's fucking crazy, bro, dude.
Yeah, I think the other thing is they just think they're not worried about us doing something like that, you know. But then again, they did like so the 1 year anniversary of the raid on my house, they raided the fucking cell block, which that was a fun experience. Got to see them get all dressed up.
Ninja Turtle outfits.
Yeah, and yelling, a lot of yelling, mostly just yelling.
What, they thought you had contraband or something?
No, they just searched every cell. They were like, "This is a high security search." So they came out and they were like, "Don't look at me! Don't you fucking look at me!" And then they bend you over in half and run you while you've got your handcuffs behind your back. Then they like have everybody sit in the gym, fucking CCOT style, like on the floor with your handcuffs behind your back. And then they like kept like sweeping the like all the inmates. I could see them sweeping us with a laser. So I'm like,
What the laser do?
So either they've got a laser sight on like one of their ARs and they're flagging everyone, or
they had actual fucking guns in there.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, no, whole kit. Like they dressed up like SWAT. But yeah, so either they were flagging us or they were trying to make us think that they were flagging us. And either way, it's a very silly thing to do. They were very silly.
Yeah, psychological torture. But like the thing is, like you and those comrades that you mentioned, the Pan-African comrades, like you all had already steeled yourself through revolutionary theory. Like if this was just like some kid that had gotten arrested at his very first protest, he probably would have flipped. And like that's what oh my god, are they getting ready to shoot me? Oh my god, are they getting that's what they rely on, that type of fear in trying to sow fear into people, and they target like people that they know will break to give information. Like that's why they go so hard on like addicts, for example, because they know that when you are addicted to a substance that controls you, mind, body, and soul, like unless you really want to get clean off that substance. And like, I'm not trying to be addict exclusionary or anything, but it's just like it's a medical fact. Like if you rely heavily on crack cocaine, on methamphetamines to go about your day-to-day life, and you are not yourself, like these are not substances that you can just like quit cold turkey. Like you will literally die. So if like they try to control people through that stuff, that's why I strongly believe they got Huey Newton on drugs.
Yeah, that's like the thing, like the saddest part, the thing that emotionally impacted me the most was seeing like all the dudes on Suboxone. Like all the dudes on Suboxone. Like if you were,
They were going through it.
yeah, no, going through it hard because like the only time
They're not obviously they're not going to be giving you Suboxone in jail.
no, they did.
They did.
Yeah,
Huh.
yeah. So the problem is everybody's coming down from they're taking their Suboxone, they're coming down from being dope sick. First thing they do is they get ravenously hungry, right? And a lot of those people, they don't have folks on the outside, you know, putting money in their commissary or anything like that. So they're just eating off trays, right? So like I was giving away most of my food to them. And then they
Why do y'all keep asking me about these stupid fucking? Why are you asking about Nick Fuentes? Fuck Nick Fuentes. Why do you think I give it? Why are you asking me about these fucking people? Nick Fuentes is a fucking fascist that deserves the fascist reward. Stop asking me about these fucking people. God damn. Why do you sit? Do you just sit around and think about Nick fucking Fuentes all day? Who gives a fuck? God damn. Sorry, I have to crash out on somebody in chat at least once a stream. Otherwise, I'm not Black Red Guard. Fucking Nick Fuentes. Now I'm mad. Go ahead, Iggy. I'm sorry.
but yeah, I did realize, like, I realized, like, a lot of things having to do with being a communist organizer, I was overcomplicating it. I was overthinking it, right? Like, to get someone, like, one of the main obstacles, I think, for, like, leftists is to, like, how do you get the people on your side? How do you get them to know that you are about it, that you're ready to die for this shit, that you're here for them, right? How do you get them to trust you like that? And the solution's easy, right? You go hungry so they have food. Easy as that, right? Because that's what I did. That's all I did. People started respecting me because I did that. In subs.
On Suboxone.
Oh, okay. Genuinely, I don't know. I'm gonna say probably not. Now, Narcan, they do release you with Narcan. They like and it's different. Each jail is run by the county, and it depends on how your jail is structured, how it's run, who's going to be in charge of it. So like both of the jails I was in were like the personal fiefdoms of the local sheriff. So that means like there's a guy who decides this stuff on some level, or he picks a guy to decide this stuff. So like on some level that really sucks, because like we were talking about it, like COs are not as bad as deputies are when it comes to just like randomly fucking with you. Because like
COs are basically like security guards.
Yeah,
deputies
exactly.
deputies are like actual cops.
Yeah, and they're also like they are only beholden to the sheriff, and the sheriff is kind of not beholden to anybody unless he's elected, and then he's beholden.
Like when my mom was locked up, like she was constantly telling me about like the cool COs she knew, but like most of them like were basically a step above, like barely, like they come from the same class background as a lot of the inmates do.
Yeah, and a lot of, I mean, even a lot of the deputies are like specifically like West African immigrants and like people from either a lumpen or like a working class background who are like, to them it's just a job. And it's interesting because like it doesn't take you long to spot like which one's which, because there's always a guy in there who like loves his job.
Oh yeah, and the guy that loves his job is usually a white dude.
100%.
But like when you like and like the thing with those types of jobs is like if you scroll Indeed, for example, in St. Louis, every other job, like, because those jobs also have high turnover, because unless you're a fucking sociopath, working in a prison will literally grate on you. So those jobs are high turnover. Like I shit you not, every other job on Indeed in St. Louis or the Metro East is literally fucking prison work.
I mean, even you can even see it in cops. Like there's the cops who like fell for the propaganda and they joined because they're like, I want to make a difference. And like that guy, you can see a little timer over his head until he quits or does the other thing.
Yeah, does a Dorner.
Yeah, like like I've seen a couple of those throughout this process where I'm like, you're too good for this. You're not going to last very long. Because it's not just like the work that they're doing. It's like I'm upset by the things that are happening, and I'm like, I know that I can see like they're also upset, and they just have to go eat lunch with that guy that did that, you know. But yeah, no, like so. One of the things we were talking about is how, you know, because we were talking in Joe, we're talking about Blood in My Eye, and we're talking about like that generation of revolutionaries, and he like one of the things we were talking about is like how the drugs have kind of changed the character of like lumpen in this country. Like that's I think maybe one of our main obstacles, and it sucks because I don't like right now have an answer for that. I don't know what to do about that. Like I mean,
Yeah, and that like when I have conversations with old heads like that grew up in the Panther era, like inevitably, when I talk to them about how shit has changed from when they were our age, like they inevitably bring up the drugs because like these drugs were brought to us on purpose. Like we literally almost had a black revolution in this country, bro, and they were not going to allow that. So there's a reason why, like heroin, the war on drugs, crack cocaine, which literally gutted centuries long communities that have been built up lovingly, step by step since slavery. And now you go to them and they're basically like they're empty. There's nothing there. Everybody's a nihilist. Everybody is against each other. The only people that remember the old way are the old heads. And like it's fucking blackpilling. If you're not stealing a revolutionary theory, that shit'll blackpill you. It will basically make you into a nihilist. Because you read about like and you watch these old film clips and shit about all the shit the Panthers did, all the shit that Ram did, the shit that Malcolm was able to do, and then you go to the community nowadays and nobody gives a fuck. Everybody just chasing a bag and stuff like that. We still have community organizations though, but like a lot of them are overwhelmed, and a lot of people just don't give a shit. They see it as some type of hustle.
Yeah. So like it feels weird to just be like a Maoist and be like, don't do drugs, kids, but don't do drugs, kids. Like that's how they get you. There's no reason.
Iggy Reagan.
Yeah, there's no reason to be doing opioids, right? I don't even take that shit from the doctor.
No, I'm the same way. Like, I had a really bad toothache. Fucking prescribed me. What's the name of that shit? Vicodin. No, like you're not going to turn me into a fucking drug addict because, like, that's the plan for black men in America. They want us to be drug addicts. Women too. They want us to be drug addicts. They want us to be like because they know that if we're walking up and down the street trying to score a bag for drugs, okay, ready-made prison slave en route. And no, I refuse to let my mind be rotted that way. Absolutely not. I want no. Every time, I refuse all pain pills.
Yeah,
anything with the code on the end, I don't want it.
Yeah, the only like real altercation or like issue that I had with my like fellow inmates while I was in there was someone went in my cell and like stole my commissary like while I was on the phone, which like
what they steal? They stole your Twinkies, Iggy?
They stole my M&Ms, and that pissed me off.
What's the matter? Someone stole your sweet roll.
Exactly what happened. They stole my sweet roll too. And he stole the taco meat,
honey,
and he didn't even cook with it. He didn't even steal
they stole your honey bun?
Yeah. And then he stole the taco meat, didn't even eat it. So
hold on, they let you have hamburger in there?
No, they let you have taco meat and shredded beef, and you got to use that to make the swole, which I think in other places they might call it spread, which is like a delicacy that I've been in.
Yeah, at the shelter, like it was a dude this fucker took over a whole ass table. He was fresh out of prison. He made a fucking prison spread. He like heated a bunch of shit up in the microwave, kept asking me for shit. And it looked like he had like a little, like, you know how Ethiopians eat? Like they have like the fucking injera bread, and they set all this shit, the sauces and shit on top of it. This fucker had like nasty fucking cheese. And I'm like, bro, I hope you clean that shit. I didn't eat that shit.
You got to try it. You got to try it.
I don't want that. Look, I don't eat fucking prison food.
I tasted nothing like it. I thought I wasn't gonna like it, but
he set the shit out on a nasty fucking table. He didn't even clean the table off.
Now you gotta put it you gotta rip open a chip bag and you put it in the chip bag, or you hold on to your meal tray. Yeah, you gotta try it. It's so fucking, like, I've been told that if I try to make it on the outside, right, I'm gonna fucking hate it. It's gonna be the most disgusting thing I've ever eaten.
Oh yeah, because you're deprived from the stuff that you're used to eating on the outside. So yeah, in prison, that shit tastes good because that's all you got.
Yeah, because like so the seasoning, they don't give you any seasoning. So the seasoning is crushed up chips. So you get your like flaming hot Cheetos and your jalapeno Cheetos, right? And then you can only cook with hot water.
This sounds like it's going to destroy your asshole.
I mean, honestly, some of the trays, my God, like there was a tray I ate where I was like, I was telling folks, I'm like, I think it was illegal. I think it was a crime for them to give this tray to me.
Tookie Williams said that they put drugs in that shit.
I don't know if they put drugs in my shit, but listen to this. It was like a rice and chicken dish, and that sounds good, but it was like in a broth of fucking cooking oil, like canola oil. Fucking like a quarter-inch deep.
No more talk about the food. You trying to make me throw up?
It made me throw up. Like I was sick. I was like,
you didn't know better than to eat that shit.
I mean,
bro, if I known you was going through it like that, I would have gave you some commissary. Fuck. I had my boy in there eating fucking rice drowned in oil.
I didn't even know how bad it was until like I got a spoonful of it and I was eating it and I was like, dude, it smelled like someone spilled cooking oil. Like it didn't even smell like it had been cooked.
That sounds like they was trying to kill y'all.
I mean, like I said, I think it was a crime for them to give me that. And a lot of times the fruit was rotten too.
They was trying to take y'all out.
Yeah. But yeah, the guy who stole from me, right? I said, man, I think someone stole from me because I was trying to throw in for the spread, right? And
you was gonna put M&Ms in. You was gonna put M&Ms in the spread?
No. I got the those were for me because I gave away most of my snacks to folks because I figure someone is asking you for food. That means that they're hungrier than you are, right? So I gave away most of my food, and I was like, the M&Ms are for me. And then someone went and fucking took my M&Ms.
Somebody's like, nah, bitch, the M&Ms for me.
Yeah, exactly. So the thing is, like, at this point,
can I confess something?
Sure.
It was me. I took the M&Ms.
No, here's the thing. I had by this point made friends, right? So people like knew that I was the one giving most of the people food, right? When they needed it. So it pissed everybody off. So I was like, hey, I don't want to start nothing or anything like that. But then I didn't, it was kind of out of my hands at that point. So they formed like an inquisition and went cell to cell. We're like, turn your motherfucking light on. And like, they found the guy because he fucked up and he took my my tortillas. And those are kind of hard to hide. So the guy like went into his cell and was like fucking snatching that shit back. Right. And then the deputy came over and was like, why are you in somebody else's cell? Why are you having people go in his cell? So I was like holding up the fucking tortillas, like being like, I
would have been like, why you let somebody go up in my cell and take my shit? You have one job, bro.
Yeah, he ended up being cool and not charging anybody. But the guy who took it, right? I was telling them, they're like, yo, it's because he's dope sick, right? And I was like, no, I think there's something else going on. I think he's got like some kind of antisocial thing going on because the way he was talking to the deputies during that raid, he was like talking crazy to them. And they were like, by the end, they're like, when this is over, I want him. I want that guy. I want number 7. Right. And I'm like, bro, like at a certain point, like fucking self-preservation has got to kick in. Right. So I'm like, I mean, there's something going on with him. But like 4 days later, after he'd been on Suboxone for a while and like it calmed down a little bit, like he came over and talked to me and he apologized. And he's like, let me figure out what I can do to make this right. And like, it was like talking to a completely different guy. Like I had never realized how much of a difference it makes, because I've only interacted with people who are like either handling their shit or not handling their shit. I'd never seen the transition before.
Oh yeah, as somebody that like when I worked at shelters, I saw it all the time. Like somebody would come in after just having had their shit, happy, bubbly, giggly. They go out. It was real bad, like around the first of the month when they get that check. Go out, spend it up. They fine for like a week and a half till that. As soon as that money run out, like it was like Jekyll and Hyde type shit. And like you said, you can watch the like, and like it's sad. Like watching somebody that you've grown close to, that you actually like, but they turn into a whole different person. But you got to keep in mind, and you have to be. It's important that you don't like crash out, because these people are suffering with a disease, addiction, alcoholism, drug addiction. You have to, and like people think that you can only get addicted to alcohol and drugs. No, you can get addicted to food. You can get addicted to shopping. You can get addicted to gambling. You can get addicted to any activity that releases happy chemicals in your brain. So that's very important. And like as communists, we deal with this shit with our comrades as well. Like communists are not automatons. Communists are not robots that are totally immune to all of the illnesses and sicknesses of the existing society. Like we're gonna have to organize people who are addicted to drugs. We're gonna have to organize with alcoholics. And I think a lot of communists, they have the compulsion to try to like hide this shit, or like try to like bury this stuff until next thing you know, oh, where's the organizational treasury, comrade? Or why did you skip so many actions, comrade? Or you disappeared for 3 months, comrade? That's why we have to like actually establish like methods of care to help our comrades so that they don't feel like they're dealing with this stuff alone, or that they have to hide something from the collective. You get what I'm saying?
I know. I mean, I get exactly what you're saying. I wish I like knew what to do, because I've tried to handle this with comrades in the past, and it didn't work out. So I need to figure out, or I hope someone else has figured out a way to like proactively deal with that shit when it crops up, especially among like cadre, because like that shit will, especially since like I was talking about, there's people who can handle their shit until they can't, and then they switch up on you, and it's like a deal with a whole different guy, right?
Yeah. And like I'm pretty sure you and I both have seen plenty of orgs or plenty of collectives that have been wrecked by stuff like that.
Yeah, I think a lot of times when you see like, especially because I think Maoist groups are really prone to very, very, very tight knit collectives, right?
Oh yeah,
like
living together, stuff like that.
Exactly. And I think like the process of criticism and self-criticism kind of like breeds those very, very close personal relationships, which like I think something like like when I was in Spusa, it was never that tight, right?
What, you mean SPUSA?
Yeah, I call
don't
it
ever call it don't call it that. Isn't that where I met you? Didn't we meet in SPUSA?
No, I met you because I read your article. All that cult shit's gonna get you killed, and I was like, man, that cult shit is gonna get me killed. And then I started following you on Facebook. The first org we were in together was FTP.
Okay, yeah, you helped organize the DC branch. I remember now.
Yeah,
it was you, the Nepalese dude. No, the Nepalese dude came later.
Nepalese dude came first.
And then see, I don't know, bro. I don't know all this shit. Look, like the 2010s, I don't know if it's the same for you, but the 2010s they're like a blur to me. Like people that I knew ran into back then, like I've forgotten most of them.
For me, it's like that with the 20s. I feel like it was 2019, like 30 days ago.
Yeah, it's like it's amazing how fast shit goes. Like like Charlottesville. It feels like yesterday. I wasn't up there, but like we sent 3 people from St. Louis there, and one dropped out of politics entirely. I think one also dropped out of politics entirely and lives in a cabin in the woods somewhere, and the other's in the ACP.
Incredible.
Incroyable. Anyways, but yeah, and like people forget that like a lot of people have PTSD from that shit. Like a lot of people, like people idolize the fight of fascists. Fuck yeah, fuck yeah. We punch Nazis, but like getting in fights and shit every weekend and stuff like that, like it's shit wears on you. It's like, and I'm only 31 years old. There's no way in the world I should feel like a fucking old head.
Yeah.
Look,
It's something. It's something I talk about. Like, it's like it's easy to think about sacrifice as like as a communist, as like a thing you do once, right? Like you can think about, you know, fighting and getting the shit kicked out of you and like going to jail or like being doxxed or whatever it is you're dealing with. You can kind of compartmentalize that. You can understand it and be like, that's something I can do, right? And absolutely, it's something you can do. But something you also have to think about is
you never know how that shit will make you feel until you're actually there.
Yeah, and you know the other thing is it's not just that one thing. It's the rest of your life because like looking down the barrel of like fucking 30 assault rifles changes you. You become a different person, right?
Yeah, that's probably something you're never gonna forget that shit until the fucking day you die.
No, I have nightmares now, right?
Yeah, same thing. Like every time I talk to somebody that was at Charlottesville, what they always mention, like especially if they were by the car, like they mention that as something like they still dream about that shit. Like they close their eyes and they're there. Like they will never forget fucking bodies flying through the air.
And the thing like you got to do is not just prepare for that for yourself, right? But also understand that like your comrades are going to be like that, right?
Yeah.
So when you're there for them, it can't just be like saying like, oh, let me know if you need anything and then not checking back up on them.
You have to actively check up because like, okay, like people treat it like a chore. Okay, I did my good deed for the day. I made sure comrade was okay. And then next time, then 3 months later, you try to check in and be like, oh, I haven't heard from so-and-so in a while. I haven't heard from Iggy in a while. Let me check in. And the next thing you know, you're talking rest in power.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Like, no, because you did not do your job as comrade. You're supposed to regularly, frequently check in, talk. All these fucking Facebook groups, all these Discord, Signal. If y'all are local comrades, y'all should have each other's numbers. Call.
Exactly. And the thing is, like, the other thing you need to be prepared for is PTSD, especially severe, like, it's going to end up being CPTSD because you're going to be re-traumatized constantly if you're doing the work, right? It is going to make it's going to make you be shitty to be around sometimes. A lot of times, usually, I'm very difficult to be around. I'm difficult.
Man, when I got doxxed twice by Charlie Kirk's fans first, and then by the fucking Canary Mission people, like I was snapping on every fucking body. I remember the night that happened, my phone just started blowing up, leaving horrible messages on my phone. Okay, I was at STL DSA does like local drop-ins. We'd meet up at a little bar, hang out, drink, talk shit, blah, 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 world sucks, etc. Like, I swear to God, like, people were trying to come up to me. Oh, my God, BRG, I love your video. I was just shooting them, staring daggers. I'm like, I literally gave them the bro, leave me the fuck alone, look. Like when people, you don't know what's going on in people's heads. It wasn't that I was trying to be a prick. It wasn't that I was trying to be an asshole. But, like, I don't know if somebody's going to come ride by trying to shoot at my house. I don't know if somebody's going to come, like, you don't know what can happen when you're going through a traumatic situation like that. Same thing. Like, people want you. This is why it's important to share stuff with your comrades. because they're just going to be like, and that's how you avoid grievances and all that other stuff like that. They're like, oh, Iggy's just being a dick to me for no reason. No, Iggy had 30 assault rifles pointed in his face.
Yeah, and the other thing is we've kind of engendered, and it's not just us; it's the broader culture has engendered this like idea of disposability with interpersonal relationships, and like I think especially when you're looking for a way to get one over on somebody for clout, it makes it. I think obviously you just like shouldn't approach anything from that perspective, right? But even just trying to be a good person, do the right thing for the org, right? It can seem convenient, it can seem expedient, it can seem even like the right thing to do to cut those people loose when they start acting out, right? But you have to understand like that you're going to run out of people, right? That's those are the people that are showing up that did the work and now are dealing with the consequences. And if you're doing the right thing, it's probably going to be you too, right? So you have to extend people grace. It's the only way.
Definitely.
You know, by the way, I have my prison notebook here with me.
You do?
Yeah.
How much time do you got, Iggy?
I have the rest of the night.
Hold on. Do you follow Arun? I know.
I'm not sure.
He talks a lot about the genocide in Tamil Eelam.
It sounds like somebody I should be following.
You should. Hold on. He just messaged me. 1 second. If I can edit this. I love him. Like, he is going to basically ensure that you know what's happened to his people. All right, so I didn't. You know, this is the thing. I have never kept a diary. I've never kept a notebook or anything like that. I'm just too disorganized.
Jail did wonders on getting me organized, to be honest. I was reading. I read 15 books while I was in there.
Wow.
And I started keeping a little journal. Because everyone was like talking to me, oh, you got to do your prison notebooks. You know, you got to write some theory while you're in there. And I was like, oh, that's a lot of pressure. But then I was reading. I was reading George Jackson, getting hyped as fuck in my cell, and I decided to write some shit down.
Okay. Yeah. See, I just never been able to do that. Like I tried, even going back to school days. Like I've never really been able to. I just can't focus long enough to keep a journal or anything of the sort. Hey, we're having the only intelligent conversation on Twitter right now. How does that make you feel, Iggy?
I appreciate that.
Yeah, we're two very intelligent fellers.
I do my best.
Yeah, you do your best.
Read blood.
So, yeah. So, do you think it's like because a lot of people talk about how are you still a DSA member?
I have not joined yet. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna join one of the cool.
I've had a guy just told me he's been going to join for a year and a half. Still does it every time. He said, "Oh my god, I paid $30 to the Green Party." I'm like, "Fuck the Green Party." And what the fuck is the Green? Like, does the Green Party have almost 100,000 members? Like, bro, you fucking around. But like, you're gonna lead a horse to water. He can't hold his head up under there because he'll kick your fucking teeth out. So, yeah, definitely, you'll be in Metro DC chapter.
Yeah, which I think I wouldn't even call it beef. My misgivings with the Metro DC chapter are from like old head shit now. I'm pretty sure that those people have either changed their stripes or are gone now, given from the stuff they've done lately.
Yeah. Oh, here's Arun. What's up, comrade?
What's up, man? I hope if it's okay with you, like I'm a bit tired right now. I don't feel like coming on camera and all that. So I hope that's okay with you.
You're good. Me and a comrade I've known for a few years. We're just talking about like he actually just got off doing, you said 34 days?
Yeah, 34 altogether.
Okay, yeah. For petty vandalism?
I prefer revolutionary propagandizing.
If it was revolutionary propagandizing, you would have been hanged.
They wanted to. They wanted to.
Well, yeah. You're lucky one of those pigs' guns didn't go off. What's up, Aro?
What's up? How you doing?
Nothing. Nothing much. Just shooting the shit.
I
Talking about revolutionary.
I just went to go get Tamil food with a friend, so it was great.
I heard y'all shit real spicy.
Yeah, so it is spicy. It is spicier than like regular, like non-Indian food, right? It is generally spicy, but like I would say that it's not like purely spicy. I would say like there's a wider. And James actually, I gave like when I went to Philadelphia, I actually took James Ray, to a Tamil restaurant in Philly.
Right? I know James.
Yeah, I took him out to a place called Amma's in Philly, and I mean, I made his head explode because he never tasted that before. Like,
when I was in I did not have any Tamil food when I was in Chicago for our convention in August. I did go. I had the best Pakistani food I ever had. It was just it was on Devon Avenue, very big South Asian community. It was in a place called Budukan. It was like delicious. We got the like family platter, like everybody ate with their clean hands, of course. But like that was the dopest shit. Like it knocks anything. Like, well, of course, it's Chicago. Like talking about St. Louis and Chicago is like talking about apples and oranges. Like we're both cities, but one is a better city than the other. So like you really cannot compare Chicago food to St. Louis food. Like we try our best, but it's kind of unfair. But yeah, best fucking, like I dare say the best fucking food I've ever had in my life.
Okay.
Yeah,
there's a Comrade restaurant in Chicago, which is Comrade is Tamil Nadu, right? But it's like it's a specific area of Tamil Nadu. Tamil food. If we ever like, I mean, there's got to be some Tamil folks in like St. Louis and KCMO. Like there's got to be some Tamil folks out there.
Yeah, but I don't think y'all have. I've never heard of a Tamil restaurant.
Well, because they don't say Tamil restaurant. They always say Indian.
Yeah, because a lot of Americans.
So you can't actually tell like whether something is Tamil unless you like look at the menu, and you have to know exactly what to look for. So
that's why I need to go out to eat with Tamil people, I guess.
Yeah, you gotta and there's also a little bit of a curveball to it because. There's another culture that's very similar to us called Telugus, and they're just like they're just north of us, right? In India. So, and Telugu food is also very similar to Tamil food. They also have biryani. They have a lot of the same stuff that we do. They just have, their thing is like, Telugu food is like spicy. It is ridiculously spicy, even for someone like me.
That's what I was thinking about. That's what I was thinking about because a comrade in DSA that went to Princeton, he was actually dating a Telugu person, and like he was always talking about how fucking hot the food was. That's what I was thinking of.
Because Andhra Pradesh is home to Andhra Pradesh is actually home to like I think one of the largest like chili fields in the world. Like it's like they have a lot of chilies there. So they just use that shit in everything. They put it in everything. I went to a Telugu wedding recently, and the family was like relatively religious, right? So for the lunch meal, they didn't have anything with meat in it, right? And even that was just like ridiculously spicy.
Well, I know what I will not be eating.
If you can't handle, like, this is spicy even for Indians. Let's put it that way.
If it's spicy for Indians, it would kill me. I remember when I went to Bloomington, Indiana once for a conference, and we went to a restaurant, and I ordered the mild, and like their mild is like American hot and spicy.
Yeah.
I'm like, and the fucking waiter was laughing at me. I don't know if he thought that like black people have like an innate spice resistance or something, but I was going through it. He brought a whole pitcher of water this big, and I drank like 2/3 of the motherfucker, and the dude he was like snickering. I'm like, okay. I still tipped well because
So
I
the
believe in
funny thing
people.
is, so the funny thing is, when I went to a Thai restaurant in San Diego for TwitchCon, right? The funny thing is, I swear to God, this happened. So I'm probably the only brown person in that group, right? Probably the only person in that like friend group, right? I think I ordered mild. And everyone else ordered spicy. I'm almost positive they toned down the spiciness for all the white people. And when I ordered mild, they turned it up because they knew I was brown.
They're like, we're gonna see if you know ball or not. We're gonna see how long you've been over here, buddy. Iggy, what do you think of this conversation? What's your spice level like?
I like a medium spice, so definitely mild when it
Yeah,
comes
you
to
got. Yeah, you're like because you're Hungarian, right? So like because y'all do goulash, y'all have like paprika and all that, but like
yeah.
it's not like Indian type shit. Like y'all can have little spice, but not a whole bunch.
Yeah, no, they're like on a honestly, like any food with raw chilies in it to me is challenging. That should give me heartburn.
You're white. So, Comrade Arun, I saw you were on who was it? Taylor Lorenz the other day.
Yeah, actually, she just released a video today, actually.
Yeah, I saw her on Twitter.
Yeah.
Well, that's good. It's really like one thing I really admire about you, Arun, is like how you're like me. Like I try to tell stories that people don't know about like black people because like people seem like when I talk to people from overseas, they know that black people in this country have been like horribly fucked over, but they think that it was just us being fucked over. Like people don't know that we had the Deacons of Defense or a huge amount of the people that fought in the Union Army after Lincoln allowed us to were black people, or that Martin Luther King had a house full of guns. Like when we tell our stories as oppressed people, we cannot just be like, oh, all these horrible things happened to us and we just sat in silence and suffered. Whereas like you talk about like how your people actually, how the comrades of Tamil Elam actually fought back against this stuff, right? Like the LTTE.
So
Like,
I want to be perfectly clear about one thing, right? So it's a bit of a complicated and touchy subject because I'm technically not Elam Tamil. So I'm not Elam Tamil whatsoever. Arjun is, right? Our comrade Arjun is, right? He's from Elam, right? So I'm Indian. So the thing is like we are the same ethnic group. Yes, we are the same. We are part of the same nation, rather. Like we are part of the same ethnic group, basically. In Leninist terms, right? We're basically part of the same ethnic group. But my family's history, like we've never been oppressed by Sri Lanka by any stretch of the measure. And we're kind of so Indian Tamils are kind of in a Lebanon situation where I would say like actually the difference between something like Lebanon and Tamil Nadu, which is where I'm from, which is part of India, is that like Lebanon is an independent country, which is why Israel is kind of getting away with attacking it, right? Because they're just kind of they're also a small country, and like no one's going to stop Israel from attacking Lebanon, right? There's no like larger power protecting Lebanon. But in this case, like if Sri Lanka attacked Tamil Nadu, that's war with India.
Yeah, nobody wants to go to war with India.
So like
yeah, in the case of like
it's a weird silver lining that Tamil Nadu is actually part of India.
Yeah, kind of like with Lebanon. Like even though like Iran is an ally of Hezbollah, like Iran is not going to go like full-fledged mask off scorched earth on behalf of Hezbollah in Lebanon.
Exactly.
Like people talk about the axis of resistance, but at the same time, it's only like people will only do so much for other people. Like nobody is going to go full scale
No,
All
it's
like
all about. I mean, I think that's the thing that a lot of people just get fundamentally wrong. Even countries that say they're communist, they fall. They supposedly care about anti-imperialism, or even Iran's not a communist country by any stretch of the measure. They're they're run by a very like right-wing government, right? That happens to be aligned against the United States. But no matter what, like states are fundamentally going to operate in their best interest and what is going to help the state with soft power, what is going to help them with like maintaining, stability inside the actual borders. They're not going to do anything that will actually like if it actually threatens the revenue of the state, if it threatens any of the revenues of the capitalists within the state, they're not going to do shit.
yeah, same thing with people are whining about how China and Russia did not veto the Trump's shitty little plan for Gaza. Like, why would they? Like, China's not going to lose money for Palestine. Neither is oligarch ran Russia. Like, people on the internet put way too much faith into these basically fundamentally capitalist countries. Part of the reason why I'm a Maoist is because it's because of the contradiction. How are you claiming that a country is socialist, that it's a dictatorship of the proletariat? There are literal fucking billionaires at the helm of what is supposed to be a proletarian party. So I was a trot for like a week and a half until I met other trots who irritated the hell out of me. And I found out that
I'm
now
going to shock you for a second because the Trots are actually the least bad of the communists in Sri Lanka.
I've heard that.
They're the least bad.
Yeah, and I remember last time we spoke, you mentioned that you mentioned basically that the people that were calling themselves communists in Sri Lanka were
They're the
basically
ruling
like
party now, yeah.
Yeah, were basically fascists.
Yeah, I mean, the way I found it really easy, the best way I found to explain what is the JVP is that they are labor Zionists.
Yes.
That's probably the best way of explaining who they are. They are the Sri Lanka. So the Sri Lankan equivalent of Zionism is called Sinhalese Buddhist nationalism, right? Or Sinhala Buddhist nationalism. And there are different levels to Sinhalese Buddhist nationalism. So there is obviously the open Nazi Sinhalese Buddhist nationalism, which is like the Rajapaksa family. Then you have the liberal Sinbud, like liberal Sinbud nationalism, which is like the UNP, Sajith Premadasa, like SJB. They're like the major they're one half of the major opposition. The open ultra Sinbuds are the other half of the opposition. And then the ruling party are the JVP, which are the labor Sinbuds. And the long story short is that the JVP's entire, and like I've gotten into dumbass arguments with like idiotic Sri Lankan JVP supporters about this, right? And their whole shtick is that Lenin's right of nations to self-determination does not apply to the Tamils in this particular context, right? And it's for a variety of reasons. Like one bullshit reason that I saw was like the Tamils are a reactionary, like the Tamil nationalism is like a reactionary movement or whatever, right? It's a bourgeois reactionary movement.
So even if that was true, that does not mean that they deserve to be massacred and put in mass graves.
I mean, we're both in agreement on that. I'm just saying that's just the kind of bullshit excuse that you'll hear. The other thing I've noticed is, and I'm not too educated on this, but like I'll openly admit, but like apparently Lenin said that only the right of nations to self-determination only applies to feudal countries or some shit like that. And
no, the right of nations to self-determination applied to any nation that is oppressed. That's why if in the United States, that's why people talk of the right to self-determination of the new African nation. Never mind the fact that this country has literal whole ass colonies like Puerto Rico, Guam, Hawaii. Like all of these places have indigenous people. So America has never had feudalism. So whoever told you that doesn't know what the hell they're talking about.
Yeah, so they're basically saying that because Sri Lanka was never a feudal country, which again is arguably like incorrect as well, but because Sri Lanka was never like a feudal country to begin with, therefore Tamils do not have a right of nations to self-determination or some shit like that.
That's dumb. And I remember last time we spoke, we talked about your really good, but also very harrowing documentary. I recommend it to everybody that wants to be more versed on these matters, but I also recommend, like, that's some pretty heavy shit, bro. But like,
Yeah.
there's nothing that can prepare you to see like little girls, little kids, heads smashed in and put in mass graves. But like we said when we were talking about your video, I mean about your documentary, like the right to self determination basically means, like, for example, take me, I'm black, new African in the United States.
Yeah.
Like there's too much blood that it's like these people literally used to hang us from trees and set us on fire, bro. And the same thing in Sri Lanka, like all
Sounds
that horrible,
familiar to me, yes.
yeah, all that horrible shit that happened. Like, can we really blame the Tamil Elam people for not trusting these people for one, and not wanting to continue to like remain in a state, in a polity in which these people are allowed like to dominate shit? Like, basically, denying them the right to self determination basically means that you support their destruction and their genocide.
Yeah.
Would you be like, oh, Palestinians should just shut up and accept full destruction
Well, I
of their
mean,
national identity?
well, I mean, that's kind of the double thing that they do here. So with Palestine, they're like, no, Palestinians have a right to self-determination, but the Tamils don't because they're like Nazis or whatever.
Yeah, the name of Arun's documentary is called "Grief Stricken Winds." Like I said, it's a very harrowing documentary.
It's not for the faint of heart. It's
he holds nothing back. But like stories like this need to be told, and some shit you cannot sugarcoat. Like this is probably the world's most ignored genocide. Like a lot of people in the United States do not know where, don't even know that this. Like they look at a map and they think that Sri Lanka, Tamil Elam, is a part of India. They don't know that this is this is a country, and they don't know what's going on there. So
even like South Asians don't know that. Sri Lanka was at one point called Ceylon, right? So they don't even know that Sri Lanka or Elam and Sri Lanka they were governed differently from India. They were governed separately from India. A lot of people don't even know that.
Yeah.
Right. So like India, Pakistan, and Bangladesh used to be like one unit, the British Raj, right? That wasn't the case for Lanka. Lanka was directly separate. It was separate, and the reason for that was the island of Lanka sits in the middle of the Indian Ocean, right? So it's a valuable unsinkable aircraft carrier, right? Or it is home to deep sea harbors, natural deep sea harbors, one of the deepest natural harbors in the world, Trinco. And so if you see a map of Sri Lanka, it'll be like in the middle of like the Indian Ocean. So you get access to, the Horn of Africa, you get access to Indonesia, you get access to Iran and, Yemen, Oman, Thailand, Burma, all these different places, right? Myanmar, all these different places, right? So it's a vital place. It's a strategically important place.
Many a Portuguese fortune was made off that island.
Yep, Portuguese first colonized it, then the Dutch, then the Brits.
Yep, everybody wanted that spice, and something else I wanted to say. But yeah, and there are a lot of like all these little, like if you look at a map of the Indian Ocean, it's not just Ceylon, but you also have like all these little islands, Seychelles, Mauritius, the Maldives, Comoros, like all of these colonies. They're basically like stepping stones. Because like you had to have a place to like if you had a little rinky dink ass wooden ship like the Portuguese had, you had to have places like say you had hit some rocks or some shit. You had to have places to get your ship fixed, all that, take in food, take in water, because you don't drink seawater unless you're an idiot. That's like the first thing you learn when you're a sailor. So yeah, you had to have places to restop and refuel. And like you look at a map of it, it's like the Americans in the Pacific during World War II, island hopping. So that's what they did.
Well, it's not just that. It's not just that, right? So some of the first rebellions against the British actually happened in southern India, in Tamil Nadu, right? So what happened was basically the whole concept of Sinhalese Buddhist nationalism And I didn't actually put it in part one because I wanted to keep it as like, succinct as possible, right? But what actually happened was like so the reason that Sinhalese Buddhist nationalism became a thing was because some of the first rebellions against the British of the Raj actually happened in Tamil Nadu. And they basically, you had these things called the Polygar Wars, right? That happened in southern Tamil Nadu, and you had these like fiefdoms, like tiny little feudal fiefdoms, right? That basically wanted to protect their own territory against the British, and so they actually, I mean, some of them were like Velu Nachiyar Kuili. These were some of the first inventors of the suicide bomb, of the modern concept of the suicide bomb, right? So what? Yeah, so like Kuili is Kuyili, right? So she was like a major person within Velu Nachiyar, like Velu Nachiyar's like army cadre, right? Her name is like Veeramangai Kuili, right? And basically and I'm oversimplifying the story, she basically brought the British brought British army, yes, Veeramangai Kuili, right? She is considered the first suicide bomber in history, yes.
It says Kuyili is known for her suicide attack in 1780.
Yes.
While attacking a fort of the East India Company, she applied ghee, which is basically butter, on her body, set herself on fire, and jumped into the armory and blew the fucking fort up.
Yes.
That's badass.
Yeah, this is like in 1780. So this is like kind of like when the British were beginning to take over. Like this is around the time like the British were beginning to take over. So some of the first revolts against the British happened in Tamil Nadu, modern day Tamil Nadu, and Kerala, right? So what the British were actually legitimately scared of, like, rebellions, because the thing is, Iram is again, like I said, they're basically the same people, right? We are connected by language, basically. We're the same people. So they didn't want those guys rebelling in like the territory that they're going to use to check India. So what happened was they started they started figuring out, okay, well, this majority, group of people of the island, the Sinhalese, right? There's got to be something that's like important there. So they start doing like archaeological excavations, and they basically start unifying the country, because the country was never unified, right? So the British were the ones that actually unified the entire country under one umbrella. And so they start doing like archaeological excavations into like random temples. And like this temple dispute happened. And within that temple dispute, like they went into a temple, a Buddhist temple, right? And they found this old book called the Mahavamsa. And the Mahavamsa, as my colleague and journalist Bhashana Bevardhana says, is the Sinhalese Bible. So it's basically a chronicle. It's a very ahistorical chronicle of how the Sinhalese originally got to the island.
Kind of like the real Bible.
Yeah, kind of like the real
Bible. I'm sorry, not the real Bible, but like kind of like the Christian Bible. Every Bible is a real Bible. I don't want to be a chauvinist.
Well, I mean, what I mean by that is I mean, it's not an actual religious book. It's not like a Buddhist religious book at all, right? That's like Pali canon and stuff, right? This was also written in Pali. The Mahavamsa was, right? But this is basically a chronicle of how the Buddhists got to the island originally. And it's very like the veracity of the actual stories is like very contested, right? But basically so this Mahavamsa was also written in Pali, just like the Pali canon is. And the British were like, well, we got to translate this. This looks important. They translated it into English. And then once they translated it into English, because they were also doing linguistic work in India as well, right? The fun fact, comparative linguistics was like low-key founded by the British as a way to basically more efficiently subjugate and extract and like colonize people.
Yeah, basically, like it's kind of like what you're describing is kind of similar to what the Belgians did in Rwanda. Like basically like pitting the Hutu and the Tutsi. Like they literally argued that the Tutsi were like of an entirely different race than the Hutu. Of course, race is a social construct, but because the Tutsis tend to be taller and have narrower noses, so like, hey, these are our people. They're the like people. They do the same with Ethiopians and Somalis and
Hold that
Nubians.
thought.
Like they do
Hold
the
that
same.
thought.
They do the same thing. They basically try to. Oh, these people really aren't Africans. They're like really, really dark skinned Arabs, or like they invented three races out of their ass. You have the Mongoloids, you have the Negroids, and you had the Caucasoids. And then the Somalis and the Ethiopians were supposed to be part of the like Cushitic or Hamitic, I can't remember which subsect of the Caucasoid race.
Oh yeah, no, they did some wacky shit. Like, but like
Yeah,
the
you
term
ever?
Aryan was first like so the word Aryan is a Sanskrit word originally. It was used in like the Vedas and stuff.
Mhm.
And that's important, like the where it comes from. So basically, what happens is they translated it into English, the Mahavamsa, and they translate it into English, and they find like, holy shit, this is important because so in the Mahavamsa, there's a story about this. So in Tamil Nadu, in what we call Tamaragam, right? There are three major like kingdoms, right? At some that ruled the region that we now call Tamil Nadu, right, in Kerala. One was the Cholas, which were like the most successful. One were the Pandyas, and then the other one were the Cheras, which the people that lived under the Cheras would become the modern day Malayalis, and it would become the modern day state of Kerala, right? So, but there's a fight, there's a historical battle, a struggle between the Chola king, the Tamil king Yalalan, who came to conquer the island of Lanka, Iram, right? And there's a Sinhalese Buddhist king. I mean, Sinhala as a nation didn't exist at this point in time. Like this is like 2,000 years ago, right? So the concept of Sinhalese didn't even exist at that point, right? They spoke like some version of Prakrit or whatever, right? So they it was between Duttagamanu versus Yalalan. And so
Yes, Comrade, we're still talking about Sri Lanka. That's what Arun likes to talk about. It's a very important thing to talk about.
yeah, it's my I mean, yeah, it's my wheelhouse. I mean, that's just like what I'm it's just like I love I mean, this is like I guess this is stuff that you won't see in any of the media that I've produced so far. Right? This is like really, really deep cut, right?
Yeah,
The story that I'm telling is like a very, very deep cut.
literally everything I've learned about Sri Lanka, I've learned from Arun and I've learned from Arjun.
Yeah.
Like all I knew about Sri Lanka beforehand was that it's right south of India and its capital is Colombo.
Yep. But like it's like one of the craziest countries you've never heard of, basically. It's like you read the history of it and it's like, what the fuck?
Yeah, like it's basically like the Israel of the Indian Ocean.
It literally is.
Iggy, what do you think of all this? This impromptu history lesson from Comrade Arun.
I mean, thank you for sharing all this because I've been introduced to the conflict by comrades I've met through various means. I'm trying to figure out how much I should say. I'm going to err on the side of caution.
Please do.
But yeah, no, shit's serious over there, and like within living memory, serious too.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
like,
I mean,
right.
they're still under occupation now.
Yeah, like right now, serious.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're still under occupation. Like just now, the Buddhists tried to build it. I mean, they're building a temple in Trincomalee. Like that's the capital of Elam. Right? So they're doing colonization shit right now, West Bank shit.
Somebody says they heard the Tamils got super rich selling black pepper to Romans back in the day.
That's okay, to be fair, that's not entirely incorrect. That's not entirely incorrect, actually.
Yeah, because the Romans were all over. I think the Romans went to Vietnam.
Yeah, but like this, so if you like spices in your dish, you got the Tamils to thank.
Yeah,
because
yeah, like
we've been around for quite a while. Actually, we've been around for like 2,000, 3,000 years, something like that. Like we've had a continuous history in the region for like 2,000, 3,000 years.
So did y'all like were y'all like indigenous to India, or did y'all migrate from somewhere else?
It's a bit high. It's a bit contested, actually.
Yeah, I guess
It's a bit
knowing that
contested. We don't know.
it's
We don't know how far it goes. So like, there's a lot of speculation. So you're familiar with the Indus Valley, right?
yeah,
The Indus Valley
Pakistan.
civilization, Harappa, Mohenjo-daro, like all those different areas, right?
Hmm.
So there's a lot of theories or hypotheses basically saying that the original language of the Indus Valley civilization was some like Dravidian language or some earlier version of Tamil, basically. So
Interesting. So y'all are the OGs. If so, y'all
we
basically
don't know. We don't know yet. That's the thing. We don't know. There's not enough conclusive evidence to say anything. But yeah, we've been around for a very long time. Yes.
yeah, y'all have definitely been around longer than the Israelis. So
We
yeah, it's kind of like the Egyptians. Like people are always arguing over like where did the Egyptians come from? But like when you read Egyptian texts themselves, they literally are like, oh yeah, our ancestors came from like south of here. Like our ancestors were dark people, but like they interbred with literally everybody because they literally sit at the crossroads between Africa, Europe, and Asia, and like anybody could be a fucking Egyptian.
Yeah, I mean it's the
It's
same thing
basically.
with Tamils, by the way. Like we have all different kinds of skin tones. Like
Yeah.
it's the same thing. You have varying different kinds of skin tones. Like you have people that look, it's not like saying that someone looks Tamils. Like it's kind of a weird thing to say, right? Because like
Yeah,
there's like
my impression was that the Tamils are really dark. That was my impression.
yeah, there are a lot of us are, yes. A lot of us are dark skinned.
Yeah,
I know lots of Tamils that literally pass for black.
it passed for black until you look at the hair. Anyways,
Until you look at the hair. No, actually
somebody
no.
no somebody made a joke. Somebody made a joke and said basically saying that Indians are black people with white people haircuts.
That's not incorrect. No, actually, so like you're thinking of the men, right? But like women have like there are like Tamil women that have like Tamil friends of mine that were like mistaken for a black woman, like actually.
Really
Yeah.
interesting. There actually is like an African. Well, I guess all ethnic groups are African derived, but
Yeah, all
there
of us
actually
are.
is there actually is like the Siddhis. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right, but there actually is like
Siddhi, yeah, Siddhi, yeah.
yeah, there actually is an African like they actually had a kingdom, but they literally are descended from people that like traders or people that were enslaved and brought to India, and they ended up coalescing into their own ethnic group. They're also in Pakistan, but they
Actually,
ended
so
up
there are
fucking
more Siddhis in Pakistan than there are in India.
interesting.
Yeah, Siddhis in Pakistan are largely in Sindh. They're in the Sindh province of Pakistan. They're basically kind of if you can see like the coast, the western coast of like India, Pakistan, or like southwestern coast of India, Pakistan. So it
Hmm.
goes from Sindh through Gujarat, through Bombay to like Mangalore, Karnataka, right? So it's like a southwestern coast. That's generally where
Gujarat, Gujarat is where Zaran's people are from, by the way.
yeah, Gujarat is a very interesting place. Very
I've never
interesting.
been. I have never been to any of these places, so I'll take your word for it.
No, Gujarat is a meme among Indians because that's where Modi's family's from.
So wait, so Zaran and Modi's family are from the same state?
Yes.
I wonder
And
what.
no, and also two of India's major billionaires are also from Gujarat.
Ooh,
Like
I guess it's.
Adani and Ambani are all Gujaratis. Those families are all Gujaratis.
I guess it's the state of winners, huh? What do
That
you think of Zaran, Arun?
what do I think of Zoran? Uh I I think I would say that like I don't think he's like a savior or anything, but like
Yeah,
I don't
nobody
know,
does.
he's better than the other guys.
Yeah,
That's just
that was my take on him. I'm actually doing a long form video on it because like people the thing with communists, internet communists, that really pisses me off is that they seem incapable of nuance. Like, no, he's not the savior. He's not Lenin. Even Lenin wasn't a savior. Lenin would not have been able to do shit if it hadn't been for millions of Russian people that followed his line. Same time, he's also not like, people keep calling this brown Muslim dude a fascist, a Zionist. I'm like, yeah, he definitely is making unnecessary concessions, I think, to Zionists. I think he is making unnecessary concessions. Like, you literally, like, why would you stand up next to Trump and then giggle as this man says it's okay to call you a fascist? But, like, did we literally expect Zoran to walk into the White House and punch the dude in the face? Like, I think communists in many cases, they live in a fantasy world. And, like, this is actually, like, this guy has 8.5 million people to see to. And, like, he's trying to make sure his city doesn't end up bankrupt. At the same time, DSA is not the servants of Zoran Mamdani. Like, our job is to serve the people. So if Zoran does objectively fucked up stuff, we have to keep him on the path that he promised us, that he promised all New York that he would follow. But at the same time, we also have to keep in mind that, no, this guy is not going to deliver us to a happy cloud cuckoo land of fully luxury, automated communism or whatever. But
yeah, he's a politician. Like, yeah, I didn't have that. Like, I don't have like a sky high expectations of him.
And that's the thing with social democrats. Like, social democrats do not understand what the fucking MAGA supporter down at O'Reilly Auto Parts knows. Politicians fucking lie. Politicians lie. Every American knows that, regardless of the political spectrum. Democrats know that politicians lie. Republicans know that politicians lie. The only people that seem to not know that politicians lie are social democrats. Like, you really thought that this dude was going to immediately, he hasn't even taken office yet, but you really think that this guy's going to institute rent control for gentrifiers and free buses and open up municipal grocery stores on his first day? This is still New fucking York, the home of international capital. Ooh.
Yeah, like I mean, that's my general opinion of him. It's just like, I don't like, if he gets all that stuff done, cool, but like, my thing is, like, he's just better than the other guys. I don't have high expectations in the sense of like,
he's already fucking shit up. He's doing shit that he doesn't even have to be doing. Like, all he had to do, like, why didn't you fire the Zionist, the lady, Jessica Tish? Like, horrible things. Like, you literally got elected and made your part off the back of the Palestinian Solidarity Movement. Why would you keep the same police commissioner that suppressed Hens Hall in the Columbia encampment movement? All you had to do was fire her and hire some garden variety liberal or something. You did not have to keep her. Like, you did not have to keep her. And then, like, oh my God, what if they get abducted? What if they do something? I'm like, bro, like, you're a socialist. Socialist is literally the antithesis of everything the United States stands for. If you go out here running around calling yourself a socialist, then bad things are going to happen to you. You should expect that. I don't know why these nice, calm, comfortable white folks think that they can have all of this shit delivered like a fucking DoorDash order. Like, you're going to have to bleed for socialism. If the Chinese and the Russians and everybody else, the Vietnamese, everybody else had to bleed for socialism, what makes you think you're so special?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think, like, I don't know. I'm just not won over to the line that the brown Gujarati Muslim dude with a whole ass profile on Canary Mission is a secret undercover Zionist. I think that he's making stupid mistakes. I think that because he's taken this high position and he's now found himself surrounded by enemies, I think he's trying to make his enemies be less enemies, and he's tripping over his own feet. But again, that's bourgeois politics for you. That's why a lot of people don't engage with it in the first place.
I mean, I just don't really put my faith in, like, electoral politics. I just I don't know. I would say I'm not good at this activism thing. I'm also say, like, I don't know. That's just the way my perspective is, like, whatever I can do to actually move things forward just by myself or, like, with my community, I'll just do that, and I'll just laser focus on that. And that's the way I approach things. Like,
yeah, that, like, you talk about, I really respect you because, like, you don't, like, try to venture off into, like, me. Like, it's important that you're talking about this stuff because, like, I'm not Tamil, Elam or otherwise. I'm black, so I talk about like Black American stuff that I know about. But
Right.
you, like you said, you have your wheelhouse. Like you're talking about the struggle of your people in Tamil Nadu, and you're talking about the struggle of your people of you're basically your kinspeople in Tamil.
Yep.
And you're talking about this stuff because like nobody like they don't teach about all this stuff in American schools.
Well, I
So
mean that the other thing is that like there's also like zero Elam Tummels in the United States. I mean, there's a handful of them and then they're largely concentrated in like the New Jersey area, New York, New Jersey area. But like compared to like if in Canada, if you were to go to like a Tamil place, 9 times out of 10, it's an Elam Tamil place. So because they're mostly, refugees, first generation, second generation, third generation refugees, right?
mhm.
That's basically like Canada has the highest population of Elam Tamils outside of the actual island itself and India, right? But if you come to America, most Tamils are gonna be like me. They're Indian Tamils, right?
Okay. Yeah.
So
Iggy, you unmuted yourself. What do you have to say? I didn't want you to feel locked out of the discussion, comrade.
I was just gonna say, like, that's like the type of thing I think more people need to be saying is I think we can get into like going back and forth about elected officials or this or that prediction about the future, but in reality, like I said, it's happening now. You got to get involved. You have to actually get your hands dirty. And you should be thinking, like Arun said, about like what you can do as an individual, what you can do with a small group of people that you can pull together right now.
by the way, like I just want to, sorry to cut you off. I want to be perfectly clear. I don't have all the answers by any stretch of the measure. Like I'm like basically what I've been doing so far has just been throwing shit at the wall and seeing what works. Right? The reason I did all this, the reason I'm doing all this in the first place is because like when I first started streaming on Twitch, I was just going around. This is like when I was a 5-year Andy, right? When I was going around, I was just like going on Twitch streams, like just Twitch streams that were about the same size as me. And I was just seeing like, okay, well, like, do you want to talk about this? And this is around the time that the Rajapaksas were thrown out in 2022. This is the Araglaya, right? So I was like, hey, I know for a fact that no one's going to talk about this. Everyone's going to be like, oh, revolution in Sri Lanka. Awesome. And then they're just going to move on with their lives. And they're going to be like, oh, this is sick. Right. But like, no one's ever going to talk about like, what actually fucking, the genocide that is, that they've been doing and all that shit. You know what I mean? So no one's going to talk about that. So that's why I was like, all right, I'll just do whatever I can. And I was just like doing that for a year. I was like calling in from, I went to India for a wedding, right? And I was just like, all right, I'll call into a, Twitch stream, 50 viewer Twitch stream from like basically a town that is like, that gets its power cut for like 12 hours every day. So I'll just do that and see if I can make a change there. So that's just the way I've approached things. I've just been like, all right, if anyone will have me, I'll fucking talk about this shit. And it's just been like, I've been doing this for 3 years. And one of my Elam Tamil audience members was like, well, why do you keep doing this? Just make a documentary and put, post it there. So.
I mean, what is the scientific process if it's not just throwing shit at the wall and seeing what sticks?
Yeah, I mean, that's just like I don't have like a proper answer for all this. Like if I had an answer, if I had like an answer to make Elam free, I'd take it already. Right? If there's an answer to make Tamil Elam free, I'd be doing it already. But sadly, like right now we're at the stage where we just have to build more awareness and we have to build a movement around it. And that's just my job is just to plant the seeds for the mobilization, and that's it.
And you're doing a really good job. Like a main part of it is political education, because a lot of people in the United States and in Canada have never heard of
Most of the world's never heard of this. Like,
yeah, I've never heard of this
Canada
struggle.
and the U.S., no one's heard of it.
Thoughts on the Naxalite movement? I fucks with them.
Yeah, what thoughts on the Naxalite movement?
Yeah.
I will say that. Okay, so I will say that, like, I think a lot of Maoists tend to overplay the relevance of the Maoists in India right now. Like a lot of Maoists that I've talked to basically have this impression that, like, oh, the Naxals are going to win any day now, right?
Even the Naxals don't say that.
Yeah, the Naxals don't say that, right? It's just
Like
like,
the Naxals still say that they're in the stage of strategic defensive, like the very first stage of People's War.
yeah, like there's like at least some of the Maoists that I've talked to were basically like the impression that they got is like they're gonna win any day now, and it's like
Yeah.
that's just
Those
not
are
the case.
those are stupid white Maoists. Like just from somebody that has comrades from India and has talked about this thing with them. Like, I don't know, from what I've been seeing, it seems like they're getting their asses kicked pretty bad.
They are. Like,
Yeah,
the only
unfortunate.
time the term Naxal even becomes relevant, I mean, right now, I mean, they've been capturing and or just killing like leaders of the Maoist movement, of the Naxal movement so
Yeah,
far.
yeah. They
So
killed one of the best guerrilla commanders. I think he was
Hidma,
killed a couple weeks ago.
yeah, they killed. I mean, they just recently killed Hidma recently.
Mm-hmm.
So they've just been like, unfortunately, just the way things have been going is just like that's just like it's not going anywhere. Like right
I
now,
think like
they're getting their
yeah,
asses kicked. Yeah.
and I think a lot of it is because like they stay in. There's this book that they wrote, Urban Perspectives, trying to correct this, but like a lot of it is because like they still stay in these like rural areas where a lot of people are moving out of these areas. Everybody's moving to the cities now. So like if you're going to really have like a mass movement of any decent size in India, like you have to. I mean, we had the farmers movement a few years ago, but like you have to like you have to organize in the cities. That's where everybody's going. Like the Peruvian Maoists, they
I mean,
realized
they
these days.
did do that for a while, didn't they? Like they used to have like they used to have people that would go into the cities and like organize with folks in the city. But I could be wrong.
Yeah, there was a book. It's on in this massive stack of paper behind me, but it's called Urban Perspectives. Highly recommend it. But yeah, like if you just camp out in the same areas where it's easy for them to court and insert you, then you're eventually going to start taking losses. But again, the revolutionary optimism is important, but also like revolutionary delusion. We should not mistake for revolutionary optimism.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that I would say I would genuinely agree with that.
Yeah,
I was
but
actually,
yeah, go ahead,
I
Iggy.
actually, I actually got to read like news about them in jail, which was
They let you read news about Indian Maoists in jail. What type of jail were you in, Iggy?
I'm gonna be honest, Loudon was pretty sweet.
Well, I know where to get locked up at. You hear that, everyone? If you ever do anything that ends up with you going to jail, go to Loudoun County, Virginia.
I'm gonna be honest, the food was good. Yes.
Now he's talking. Did they take you? Did they take you to a 5-star hotel or something? Did you have like filet mignon and lobster and shit every night?
Okay, so on 9/11, they gave us like a special 9/11 treat, which was like legitimate.
A special 9/11 treat.
Yeah. I'm talking. It was barbecue chicken on like smashed potatoes with the skins on it, and they had some cranberry sauce. And I was
What was this meant to? What was this meant to insinuate? A burnt corpse that fell out of a tower?
I'm not going to speculate. However, it was it was pretty good. I'm not gonna lie.
Why would you give people special food on what is supposed to be one of the most horrible days in living memory?
I don't know why they do a lot of shit.
A special. Arun, would you like a special 9/11 treat? Why would you give people special food to commemorate a fucking horrible terrorist attack?
I think it's what they got on Thanksgiving.
Yeah. This country is fucking doomed. It's not long for this earth. You're giving people out for special fucking treats to celebrate the day when motherfuckers were falling out of buildings and being crushed and horrible, horrible things. Oh my God. Wait till
Listen,
Trump finds out about that.
I will say, right? If you're like, if like you're afraid of going to jail, and that's what keeps you from being a communist in broad daylight, like someone in the chat said earlier, you can do it. I mean, don't be dumb. You should be smarter than me, right? That's actually a good rule of thumb in general to be a revolutionary. You should be smarter than me, but you should be.
Are you smarter than a Hungarian?
You shouldn't be afraid of it, right? It shouldn't rule your thoughts, because that's how people start making really dumb decisions that really fuck them up and betray
if you that's the enemy wants you afraid, the enemy wants you scared, because when you're scared, then it's going to inhibit your effectiveness, because you're constantly looking over your shoulder, you're paranoid, and then when you're walking around in public acting like that, you already look like you're about to do something wrong, so they already know who to come grab. Act cool, be collected. Of course, like how you train yourself to do that, it comes through practice. Like, for example, I'm reading a book. It's called Combi, about how Harriet Tubman went to the South. Like, she literally freed herself from slavery, right? Went all the way up to St. Catharines, Ontario, in Canada. Yet she kept going back down south. Mind you, they had a massive bounty on her head. She kept going back down south to she got most of her family out of slavery, and she got hundreds of people out of slavery by going back down to where it's dangerous at. Was she scared shitless? Of course. If they had caught her, they would have whipped her to death. But somebody had to do it. Somebody had to do it as somebody who had felt the lash of a whip. Like, they literally bashed their fucking brain in with a weight when she was a kid, and she had seizures, epileptic seizures, for the rest of her life. Like, she would literally just be in a meeting. So she knew what evil these people were capable of. And she went back down there anyways. And it would be a lie to claim that she was not scared, but she was also incredibly religious. She knew that her Holy Ghost was with her and would protect her. So she had that mechanism, and she was driven by what she felt was her destiny. Same thing with Nat Turner. He believed that his destiny was to initiate an uprising that would free our people from bondage. Unfortunately, he failed. But 30 years later, we saw the initiation of the war that would culminate in the liberation of my people from slavery. So I'm not saying that you cannot be scared, but you have to realize that if we don't do it, if we don't actually get out there, it's the pinnacle of disgustingness to try to talk people into doing things that you yourself are not willing to do. You're a coward. You're an armchair general. So no, we should be prepared for what you went through, and worse, if we're to win. Like, what's the point of standing up talking about revolution? Like, are you really waiting for, I don't know, the fucking college kids to come and rally and be your army or something like that? You have to actually set the fucking prairie fire.
Yeah, like George Jackson said, settle your quarrels, come together.
Fascism is already here.
Exactly.
In the United States and in Tamil Eelam.
Oh, yeah, it's in there for 80 years. Never went away. But
yeah, it's been here for 5
years.
It's been here for 500. But with the very, very big brains of myself, the very small brain of Comrade Iggy, and the very large brain of Comrade Arun, I think we'll get through it. Arun, have you joined DSA?
I have not. I am talking to a bunch of other organizations as well. So it's called the Savera Coalition. So I'm working with a bunch of like South Asian organizations as well. And I'm basically working with them to basically get this issue out there. Because I know people that work for Hindus for Human Rights and, all these different organizations. So I'm working with them as well to try and get this out there.
Okay. You should consider, like, I'm not like, I have too much respect.
I've been told, like, Arjun has basically sold me, like, he's basically done the DSA pitch to me. So you've
gotten the spiel?
I've gotten the spiel, yeah.
All right. Well, yeah. Look forward to calling you comrade in earnest very soon. You too, Iggy.
It's on my list.
It's on your list. It should be at the top of your list, Iggy.
Yeah, Comrade Issa is also bothering me about it.
Yeah. What's at the top of your list? Going back to fucking jail?
Not going back to jail is actually at the top of my list. I got to go do a shitload of community service. I actually found a Pan-African church in Loudoun County. I've been doing my community service there.
A Pan-African church. That is cool.
They're cool as fuck, honestly.
Next time I end up in DC, you must take me.
I will. The bishop loves when I bring people.
Yeah, maybe I'll join the church.
He loves that even more. But I will say, like, I do have a very small brain, but I do have an idea for folks, because I think there's a lot of folks that like know something has to be done, and they have like an idea of what revolutionary work looks like, right? And they just don't know where to start. And I think there's a real easy way for you to get started, and that's Court Watch. And I'm gonna be like, just how like you were talking about DSA, I'm gonna be talking about Court Watch, because everybody can do Court Watch.
Court is boring.
It's so boring, but that's kind of like the thing. All you have to do is go to a place and sit there for a couple hours and take notes, right? But your physical presence in the courtroom is going to change someone's life. They will act different if you're watching there. And unfortunately, especially if you're European, they will act different once you're in there.
I saw. Oh, you said Europeans only, so I ain't got to go. You hear that, Arun?
We
ain't got to go.
You got to go.
You hear that, Arun? We ain't got to go sit up in the court.
You got to go sit up in the court, because it makes a difference. When they know they're watched, they act different. And the other thing is, if you wear open communist symbols while you're doing it, it makes it more fun for you, and more.
Bro, you trying to get my ass? You trying to get my ass whooped?
They'll be afraid to. Like I'm telling you, they'll act different. They'll stop doing. They'll stop feeling like they're in control of the space, because that is the court is a public space, right? We have the right to be there. It's an important right.
So I should show up to court wearing my "I Stand with Rodney Hinton" shirt.
Oh, Alexandria Rose, I got a couple of questions. So the harbor was financed and built. So this is about Sri Lanka. I want to answer a couple of those questions if you don't mind. So the harbor that was financed and rebuilt by China, yes, no. So Trincomalee Harbor is in Iram proper, right? It's the capital of Elam, right? So Trincomalee Harbor is the capital of Elam. The one that China built for 99 years is in Hambantota, which is it's in the south. It's in Sri Lanka proper. It's in Sri Lanka proper. It's in the deep heart of Sri Lanka, which is Hambantota is actually the hometown of the Sri Lankan Benjamin Netanyahu, the Mahinda Rajapaksa. That's the Chinese port. It's in Hambantota. What else? I guess North Korea supplied the LTTE with its weaponry. There is no solid evidence to say that North Korea supplied either side with weapons, but the evidence looks like, based on some WikiLeaks cables that I was able to get a hold of, it seems like they were arranging for weapon sales to Sri Lanka rather than the LTTE, alongside Iran, who has actually sold weapons to Sri Lanka. So I don't know that there is solid evidence for, and I said there is solid evidence when I probably shouldn't have said it, but in the documentary, but the actual truth is, like, North Korea, it's more likely that they sold weapons to Sri Lanka because Iran also sold weapons to Sri Lanka. And there were like WikiLeaks cables saying that, now granted, these were WikiLeaks cables of the American embassy, so take it with a grain of salt. But given Iran's track record of selling weapons to Sri Lanka, it only makes sense that they would work with North Korea to sell weapons to Sri Lanka as well. So that's just like my conclusion from that.
So what, you're telling me the revolutionary worker states of Iran and North Korea were selling weapons to the bad guys? Oh my God.
Yeah, I mean, like, the thing with Sri Lanka is that ain't that the port that can't be used because there's a giant rock? I don't think that's. It could be just some State Department bullshit. No, I don't think it's like. Yeah, you're right. It was from a U.S. cable leak, but I like first off, we know for a fact that Iran did sell weapons to Sri Lanka. That is true. That much is confirmed, and Iran is also working with the Sri Lankan government. So there's a colonization program. This is the Grand Colonization Program that Sri Lanka is engaging in against the Tamils, and it's called Mahawali. And there's multiple legs of this, right? So there are different parts of it. There's Madru Oya, Weli Oya, which are the two main ones that actually colonize the Tamils. And there are other legs of this colonization, of this sort of irrigation project, that are not directly related to the colonization of the Tamils, but they're still nonetheless part of Mahawali. So one of those legs is called Umayyad, right? And I think it's like System H or some shit like that, right? They label the systems like differently. So Iran has worked very closely with Sri Lanka on Umayyad. So they have worked very closely with Sri Lanka on Mahawali, which is the colonization scheme that was used against that is being used to colonize Elam. Which, by the way, like multiple different countries have contributed money and they've directly worked with Sri Lanka on this. So in the 70s and 80s, right? So there's an Israeli manufacturing firm or civil engineering firm called Solel Boneh, right? And Solel Boneh, I don't know how much like Israel history you know, but I don't know if have you heard of the Tower and Stockade settlements? So the Tower and Stockade settlements were like the original one of the first original settlements in Palestine, right? And they definitely were set up like during the Arab revolts, right? And the company responsible for that was Solel Boneh. So, and I'm saying this because this is how deep this shit goes. Solel Boneh was also given contracts to build colonies by Sri Lanka in Mahawali. So Solel Boneh, which is the Israeli civil engineering firm responsible for the Tower and Stockade settlements, is directly involved in colonization of Tamil Elam as well, right? And also the same leg that China's Exim Bank has given hundreds of millions of dollars to Madru Oya, which is again it's System B. So it's the Madru Oya Right Bank Development Project, right? So Madru Oya is like in Badikalo, Ampara district. It's actually in Badikalo district, right? Which is part of Elam, right? So China gave like hundreds of thousands of dollars to that, right? China's Exim Bank, rather. But in the 70s, guess who else also gave like millions of dollars to that? Take a wild fucking guess.
China.
Well, I mean, I'm talking about a different country. We already mentioned China here. Just take a wild
America.
guess.
America.
No, it's not America.
The USSR.
Not USSR.
India.
Nope.
I don't know. Tell us.
Saudi Arabia.
Oh, that was going to be my next guess.
Saudi Arabia. So Saudi Arabia and Iran. So Saudi Arabia and Iran, which are nominally at least opposed on, they're nominally opposed to each other, right? Because one side is basically, on the side of the U.S. and the other side is like against the U.S., right? Because they're both competing for influence in Sri Lanka, they actually end up taking the same side.
So these two countries, which literally fucking hate each other, they were able to unite around oppressing Tamil people.
Well, it's not that. So the thing is, it's not like they're uniting, quote unquote. The thing is, they're competing against each other. So they're actually trying to outcompete each other for influence in Lanka. And in order for them to outcompete each other, they have to take Lanka's side, because to every single state, Lanka is the stable option.
Hmm.
Like the Sri Lankan, like the Nazi government in Sri Lanka is the stable option for everyone.
Mm.
So that's why everyone ends up taking the Sri Lankan side, because the Tamils are basically what? They are 10% of the entire island. It is an extremely risky bet. And India originally took that bet like in the 70s, they armed the LTTE and it fucking blew up in their face because they ended up, they said like, you know what, screw it, like you guys are not worth our time. We'll send up, we'll start working with the Lankan government, right? Because they're a much more stable bet. And guess what? India lost they also sent, out of all the countries responsible for like fucked up shit in Iran, aside from Sri Lanka, India is number 2, right? They also directly committed war crimes against the Tamils. It's gruesome shit. I don't know if I want to say it here, but like it's very gruesome shit that they did, right?
Yeah.
Like they went into a hospital and just shot 70 people dead. Like that's what they did. Like that's what the Indians did.
Didn't they also blow the hospital up?
Yeah, they threw grenades in there. Yeah, they like blew up shit in the hospital. Like they also like committed several massacres and shit. So India is the second most responsible. So supporting the Tamils, after seeing what India did, and obviously this is all India's fault, by the way, because India just thought they could use the Tamils as like a pressure tactic against Sri Lanka. But like everyone's like, no, fuck that. I want to side with Sri Lanka instead. Right? So that's basically like why you have countries that are nominally against each other, like China, America, Russia, Ukraine, India, Pakistan as well, by the way. Both of them supplied weapons to Sri Lanka, both India and Pakistan, right? India, Pakistan, China, Argentina, Lithuania, Bulgaria, Czech Republic, Slovakia, Spain, France, Germany, United Kingdom, obviously, Italy, all these different countries sold weapons to Sri Lanka.
It's really
Israel, obviously, how could we forget Israel? Yeah.
It's really Tamil Elam versus the world, huh?
It is.
Yeah. It's because like ultimately, like Maoists and communists in general, like actual communists, were not. We weren't shocked by China and Russia fucking over Palestine, because ultimately all these fucking states care about is money. They don't give a fuck, even though they make like loud anti-American noise. Like these people don't give a shit about money. They're not gonna fuck that money up.
I mean, Cuba is also openly sided with Sri Lanka as well, which is like,
because Cuba ultimately wants the sanctions lifted off of it. So
yeah,
like,
Cuba is looking for any way. Like Cuba has sanctions, right? They want those. I mean, it's not just the sanctions, but they want to figure out a way to navigate those sanctions as well.
Yeah.
So they're also like in the same general like block as Russia, China, Uzbekistan, like Venezuela, Bolivia, like all those different countries. They're basically in the same block. So it's not surprising that they just like side with the Sri Lankan government as well.
Yeah,
they're just basically taking the same side.
Anybody that'll trade with them, they'll trade with. They need fucking hard currency, and they need somebody to buy their stuff. So yeah, not surprising.
Yeah, and the other thing is like again, like one of the things that the Rajapaksa family will do is that people who have a modicum of understanding of Palestine, they'll be like, yeah, the PA ain't shit. Like the what's his name, Mahmoud Abbas, right? He ain't shit, right?
Fuck him.
Right? People who are actually tuned into Palestine kind of know like Mahmoud Abbas ain't shit, right? But the funny thing is, Mahinda Rajapaksa and Mahmoud Abbas are tight, right? Or like they're at least friendly, right? So there's also a street in, I think, the West Bank named after Mahinda Rajapaksa, and what's his name? Mahmoud Abbas like awarded Mahinda Rajapaksa. Mahinda is the Benjamin Netanyahu of Sri Lanka, by the way, just for the record. So
there's a street in the West Bank with this long ass name named after the Benjamin Netanyahu of Sri Lanka.
Yes, Mahinda Rajapaksa is like Yes, Mahinda Rajapaksa is the Benjamin Netanyahu of Sri Lanka. Yeah. So there's a street named after him. And so Mahinda Rajapaksa will like, go around saying like, see, I'm pro-Palestine. I'm pro-Palestine. I'm friends with Mahmoud Abbas. See, our genocide of the Tamils has nothing to do with the Palestinians. It has nothing to do with that. See, we're the actual anti-imperialists. Right. And they do this like nonsensical bullshit of like parading around like they're anti-imperialists or whatever.
Yeah, but a lot of people fall for that shit, just like people keep claiming that China and Russia are anti-imperialist.
Well, I mean, like, the funny thing is, there's a Sinhalese dude that was in a subreddit for like a leftist streamer, right? And he was like Marxist Leninist government of Sri Lanka, right? And I think I had gotten
Marxist-Leninist Hitlerite, you mean?
Yeah, I mean, the meme is like Marxist Leninist with like Sinhalese Buddhist characteristics. You know what I mean? Like, that's the meme that I do. So, but I think that I had gotten through to enough people where those guys just kind of dumped them immediately. They were like, "Yeah, your country is an apartheid state." Like, I think I got through to enough people. They were like, "Yeah, you're kind of fucking stupid for saying like this is shit." Like this.
You won them over. You won them over with Tamil Riz, huh?
Yeah, I mean, I just gave them like Kotu Parota, and they were like, "All right, you know what? Fuck this. Like, Sambal ain't shit compared to like Kotu Parota. Like, or Kiribati is nothing. Fuck Kiribati, or like."
So
that's a Kiribati is a Sinhalese dish. Yeah.
Well, yeah, I've never had it. I don't think I've ever had a Sinhalese dish. Y'all's food does sound fucking amazing, though. Wait, you're not Sinhalese. See, I'm fucking tired. Anyways.
Wait, I'm not. Yeah. Wait, what?
I'm like, what? Huh? Yeah, you've said several times, bro. I'm not from Sri Lanka, and I'm certainly not now. See, now Aruna's gonna hunt me down and murder me now. What have I done? He's gonna force feed me Telangulu food until I die.
The national question needs to be solved by the international, dictatorship.
Ignore the bro. Why are you listening? I don't even pay my chat no attention.
I mean, I'm a streamer, so I have to like.
I'm a streamer too. I ignore them. Should I ignore these jabronis? Like then asking stupid ass questions.
Yeah, my thing is just like there's a lot. I mean, my thing is like, and I think there's a lot of people that come into like my chat generally with like this kind of flowery language of like international dictatorship of the proletariat and the national question, all this, and I'm just like, you guys are just like reading, like you guys are like, get your nose out of the books for a second, just like understand.
It's like the thing with me is that the thing that pisses me off about communists is that they're always talking about what we need, bro. Have you looked at the world? Have you looked outside? Nobody has come to help Palestine but Yemen. Nobody's come to help Palestine. Nobody even knows what Tamil is. Like, what international dictatorship of the proletariat? There aren't even any socialist countries left. Who's coming to help? Where is the international dictatorship you talk about?
Yeah, it's just like
we need. Like, where is it? Where is it concretely? I'm not even a doomer. I'm just like being like objective here. Like, I'm looking at actual material conditions. Ain't no more socialist countries. China don't give a fuck. The Soviet Union died before anybody in this stream was born. Like, where's that? Is Cuba coming? No. Like, where is it? What's gonna happen?
I mean, my thing is just like my thing is like, again, like my entire thing is I'm just laser focused on shit. Like, it's just like whatever I can do to at least get more people aware of Elam, I'll do it. Like, I'll just do it. You know what I mean? I'll just go ahead and keep, like I'm just gonna keep, at it, and I'm just gonna keep yelling about it until like people, like more and more people listen. I'm just gonna keep fucking doing it. Like, it's just like, that's just the way I'm gonna be a stubborn asshole for a while now.
As you should. I mean, being stubborn assholes is the only reason why there's black people left in America, because they tried to wipe us out several fucking times. Because we're fucking stubborn assholes that refuse to die.
Yeah. By the way, can I finish the story from earlier? Because I wanted to, like, the British colonization story.
Sure.
So they discovered the Mahavamsa, right? And they translated into so they translate the book from Pali to English, and they basically, it's a war in that book, the Mahavamsa, the Sinhalese Bible, and basically it's this grand battle between the proto-Sinhalese king Dudigamnu versus the Tamil king Yalalan, and the story is about how the Sinhalese king, successfully preserved Buddhism. They drove away the Tamils, and there's a bunch of like uh Buddhist like priests that basically tell like the king to slaughter all the Tamils or whatever,
Well,
right?
that doesn't
And
sound very Buddhist.
yeah, I mean they're just like, yeah, just slaughter them all. They're non-believers, right?
I thought
The
Buddhists
king
were
felt
supposed to
really
be
bad
like.
about it. No. So the
I,
king felt really bad about slaughtering all these people, and the Buddhists are like, sorry, the priests were like, hey, it's nothing. Don't worry about it. It's all good because they were unbelievers anyways,
I
right?
thought Buddhists were supposed to be like. We're growing up in the United States. They teach us like Buddhists are like peaceful, chill guys, and here they are doing
No, so the
massacres.
funny thing, do you want to know the funny thing is? Do you want to know the funny thing? These are the OG Buddhists, right? So these guys are Theravada Buddhists. So Theravada Buddhism is the oldest school of Buddhism. So there are two countries with a majority Theravada Buddhist population. One is Lanka, right? And the other is Myanmar.
Tibet, Myanmar.
Myanmar.
Mm.
No, Tibet is Mahayana. Tibet is Mahayana Buddhist, right? So all of the Southeast Asian countries, like, well, Tibet is like not Southeast Asian, but Tibet, Mongolia, Japan. Like Japan is not technically Buddhist, but Laos, Vietnam, all those different like countries, right? Those are Mahayana Buddhist, right? There are only two Theravada Buddhist countries. One is Sri Lanka, the other is Myanmar. Not very surprising, is it? So
Neither one of those countries have a very peaceful history.
yeah, to say the least.
Myanmar was. Have you ever heard of Ne Win? He was like a dictator that called himself socialist. He changed the money because like his fortune teller had told him that he would be cursed if he didn't change the money to like I think multiples of 8 or some shit.
It was his lucky numbers.
Yeah, wow. So he fucked up his
that he wanted to like change it to. Yeah,
he fucked up his entire country's economy for his lucky numbers.
I mean, like the thing that a lot of people have to understand is that like if you're not like from the West, like socialism is a very popular term. It is like socialism, like communism, these are very popular ideas. The problem is that there's a lot of people that know that and they use it to their advantage. That's the problem. So that's kind of the you know. But like that's one of the big stories in the Mahavamsa that they discover. And so basically they're like, oh, this shit's good. Oh, imagine that we could, have an entire population that would be loyal to us, right? And that could, act as counterinsurgents against the Tamils for 200 years. Right? I'm exaggerating a bit. They didn't obviously think that, but they saw the Mahavamsa and Sinhalese Buddhist nationalism as a very useful tool for counter-revolution and counterinsurgency. And so they went on, archaeological excavations, and they basically set up this idea of no. So the Tamil dominated areas actually used to be Buddhist 3,000 years ago, but the fucking Tamils came and ruined it. And by the way, Sinhalese, you guys, because you speak, Sinhalese is called an Indo-Aryan language, right? So they're related to the Sinhalese language is actually a distant cousin of English, right? So Aryan used to be a linguistic term, right? It just meant that
a distant cousin of English. I can't understand. I can't understand that language.
yeah, I mean it's you can understand Sinhala because it's a very very distant cousin of English, right? It's like the southernmost cousin of English, right? But like I mean, if I were to tell you the numbers in Sinhalese, you'd probably understand it. It'd be like Eka, Deka, Tuna, Hatara. It's very similar. Like
holy shit!
What?
Holy shit!
Yeah, the numbers
that made some semblance of sense to me.
Yeah, it's Eka is 1, Deka is 2, Tuna is 3, Hatara is 4, right? Pana is 5, right? So like I don't remember the rest, but like I know those 5 numbers in Sinhalese, right? So because they speak a language related to European languages, most European languages, aside from Hungarian, obviously, they basically said like, oh, so you speak Indo-Aryan languages, therefore you are racially Aryan, just like us. That's what the British said to the Sinhalese. So the Sinhalese basically got this idea that they're racially Aryan. And yes, I'm talking about the same kind of Aryan as Hitler. Like that kind of, the same thing that Hitler thought the Germans were, that's what the British told the Sinhalese. They basically said, no, you guys are racially Aryans. You used to have a glorious civilization 3,000 years ago, but these non-Aryan Dravidians, like Tamils, came and ruined your country.
Do these people still believe this?
Yes.
So if they come over here and they're like, "Oh, I welcome my Aryan. It's good to see my Aryan brother," and the fucking skinheads will just call them filthy fucking Jeets and have them deported. Do they not realize that?
No.
I mean,
Dumb.
I would look at how many like prominent roles within the current fascist regime are filled by.
Well, I mean, isn't the AFD? No, so the AFD, like, well, the AFD leader's wife is Lankan, and everyone's like, yeah, like, how can she be possibly racist? Like, she's married to a Sri Lankan woman.
Yeah.
And I'm like, do you know anything about Sri Lanka? Like, have you seen what?
So these people. Wait. So long story short, you told that whole story. Basically, these people literally have been brainwashed by the British into thinking that they're white.
Yes.
That is. These motherfuckers are darker than I am.
No, I mean, like, they look the same as the Tamils. Like, you cannot. The funniest thing is, like, so if you were to actually look at the origin of a lot of people we now call Sinhalese, they're not all from Bengal. Right? There's definitely a bunch of them that are from South India. Right? Their ancestors were originally from, a lot of those people, their ancestors were from South India. Sri Lanka was not isolated for 2,000 years.
This is wild. You got motherfuckers walking around thinking they're white and they're darker than I am.
No, but that's the thing. Like, that's the thing. They think, like, the Sinhalese Buddhist nationalists think that, like, there used to be a glorious Aryan civilization 3,000 years ago.
You had a glorious. And that's why
they need to take it back from the Tamils. Basically, that's the whole story. That's why all this genocide. That's the basis of the genocide, basically.
So basically, you go back far enough, and basically in any genocide that's taken place in the last 300 years, you go back far enough, you're going to find some stupid fucking Brit.
Yeah.
Hey, Lord, you're really white. I know you're dark. I know we call you wogs, but you're really Aryan. You're really white.
I mean, they did the same thing. I mean, like, that's how. That's the same thing that they did with India as well. Like, that's where they're, like, a lot of Brahmins in India basically inserted themselves into positions of power on the basis that, like, oh, they thought they were Aryans or whatever.
Yeah, right? One of them even fucked Mountbatten's wife. Probably Mountbatten too. Jawaharlal
Nehru, yes.
Nehru,
the first prime minister.
He fucked Mountbatten's wife, the guy that got blown up by the IRA. That was the last viceroy, whatever the fuck they call him, of India, and he was fucking his wife. I only know that because of the crown, but yeah,
that's hilarious.
Probably fucking Mountbatten too. Well, Mountbatten was a pedo, anyways.
No, Mountbatten is the guy that was basically, like, responsible for partition and, like, the violence that happened as a result of partition and all of that. Like Cyril Radcliffe, all those fuckers, right?
With Churchill. He literally thought he literally
as well. I don't know Churchill's direct involvement in this, but, like, Churchill also was, like, famine inducer as well.
He wanted the Indians and the Pakistanis to slaughter each other. He said that it would be good for their development as peoples.
Oh, well. I did not know he said that, but
it'll build character. Yes. Bring me another brandy.
Yeah.
Anyways,
that's basically the entire story. So basically, the Tamil genocide is predicated on the idea that the Sinhalese used to own Elam at some point, like 3,000 years ago. And so they now need to take it back from the Tamil invaders, the Dravidian non-Aryan invaders that came and took it over and destroyed their glorious Aryan hydraulic civilization. And so they need to go take it back. So that's the whole premise of the Tamil genocide. And this is all basically instilled by the British as a method to make sure the Tamils will never rise up again, because they were that scared of what happened in southern Tamil Nadu.
I mean, yeah, a lady covered herself in butter and blew herself up. I'd be afraid too. But so basically, your point is Sri Lankans are spiritually Israeli.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm still tripping off that. This lady, like, she smeared ghee, clarified butter all over herself, lit herself on fire, and jumped into the fucking place where they stored the gunpowder and stuff. That's commitment. Like, you really hate motherfuckers when you do that.
Yeah.
Iggy, what do you think of that?
Also, I do need to drop, but it was a pleasure to talk to you.
Me too. I need a cigarette.
But yeah, let's do this again sometime.
Anytime, comrade. Iggy,
I'd love to get Comrade's info too. I'd like to learn more about
his Twitter.
I mean, you just take a note of my name. It's ARUNANNOW. Just like, you can find me everywhere.
Wait, is that your real name?
No, it's not my real name.
I was about to say. I'm like, how have you avoided being doxxed? I'm pretty sure there's some fucking Sinhalese Buddhist nationalists that would love to get their hands on you.
Knock on wood, that doesn't happen. You know what I mean?
I will fight for your honor, comrade.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Yes. Nobody will destroy my Tamil friend.
Thank you. Appreciate it. All right. I got to go.
Mm-hmm. All right. Iggy, anything else you want to wrap up with?
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to reiterate that folks should be doing court watch. If you want to bring me on again, I can tell them again that they need to be doing court watch. I could just check in once a week and be like, hey guys, do you have any report backs?
A 30-second stream.
Yeah. But yeah, seriously, it makes a difference.
Leave your house, go to court.
100%, and talk to people at court. Ask them if they need anything.
Talking to people. Are you telling communists to talk to people? That's like telling them to go jump in a lake, or that's like telling them to take a regular shower.
Bro, that's why I think that might be why Comrade snitched on me, is because I kept telling him to talk to people.
Wait, who snitched on you?
I'm not going to name names, but someone from our org.
The reason why you ended up in jail is because a comrade snitched on you?
Yeah. I ain't snitched back, and I ain't snitched on anybody else. I took my time, like all of you should.
Hopefully you're not organizing with this individual anymore.
Nobody should be. I think people have been made aware in the local environment that they're an active threat.
Yeah, no shit.
We'll leave it at that.
You did 30-something days in jail because of a motherfucker.
Yeah, but I'm stronger than ever.
What doesn't kill you makes you stronger.
Yeah, did you get a chance to see the video of the arrest that we took?
Yeah, I did. It was well, it's not fun watching people being arrested, but it was amusing in its own morbid way.
What I find crazy about that instance is they actually you ever been to Old Town Alexandria? It's like the bougie part.
Why the fuck would I go to the bougie part? Why would I go to the bougie part of Alexandria?
Because that's where all the good food is. But they
y'all do have a great food scene in DC. I love it.
Oh no, there's great food. There's a great Ethiopian food. There's great. There's a Ghanaian place that they put in down on
Ethiopian food is too hot.
Yeah, it can be, and it sneaks up on you because you don't know. It's all those different pastes, all those different sauces, and you'll pick one, and it'll be like,
and it messed my stomach up.
Yeah, then you'll get one and you'll be like, that's the spiciest thing I've ever eaten, and it looks the same.
No, my name ain't Haile Selassie.
But yeah, they
No,
shut
what-
down and evacuated the main drag of Old Town. So they set up a cordon, they evacuated it when I was arrested. They brought out an attack dog, and then they brought in the bomb squad.
How the fuck would they bring out all that shit for one little short ass fucking dude?
And then they X-rayed my car with a portable like mobile X-ray machine.
Did they check inside your butthole too?
Yes. They wait till you go to jail for that though.
Iggy, I gotta check inside your butthole.
Yeah, they're like, I want you to squat and cough.
They get off on that shit. I swear they do.
They do. That's why they got to have two people. I figured it out. They got one guy to watch me, and they got one guy to watch that other guy.
Yeah, to make sure he ain't getting his little jollies off.
Yeah, no, it's funny because it's the reality of it. It is you're in a small room with a guy who's looking at your butthole. So like it's an awkward situation for them too. So they try to like break the ice, and so they're always talking about my tattoos. And they're like, "Isn't that like is that Russian?" I'm like, "It's for everybody now," because I got the ham stick on my chest.
Yeah, a lot of people think that the hammered sickle is like a unique Russian ethnic symbol or something.
I mean, Russian people do like seeing it.
Yeah, because the Soviet Union was probably the last time they actually felt good about themselves.
For real.
Now, what did it have to be proud of? Crocodile invading Ukraine and getting their asses whooped?
Yeah, that's why I got first time I wore a communist symbol, like the checkout lady at 7-Eleven was like, "I'm from Leningrad," and then she's like slams on the table and goes, "Not St. Petersburg."
It's sweet. Yeah, it's fun. Like Russians are notoriously incredibly racist towards black people until they find out I'm a communist. It's funny. You are a very smart black man to know of communist time. You know Lenin? They teach you Lenin in school? You are a very smart black man. Anyways.
They love hip hop though.
Huh?
They love hip hop though.
Yes, I love the black rap. There was this one Russian minister, I think. He had been banned from the United States or something. And he was like, the only reason why I would go United States is to listen to Tupac Shakur or see Jackson Pollock. I can do both from Russia. I have mobile phone with Spotify, can listen to Tupac, and I can look at picture Jackson Pollock also on mobile phone while listening to Tupac.
Yeah, they love
that was a horrible Russian accent. But yeah, they do love rap. That whole like Gopnik culture. It's basically like street culture over here.
Yeah, no, it's been interesting getting to know folks from that culture.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, Russians. I don't make a habit of really hanging out with them that much because they have no fucking filter.
They do not.
Yeah, they're kind of like us in a way, except white. And more miserable.
Anyway, would be miserable without their misery.
Yeah, they were like that even before the Soviet Union.
Yeah,
it's a reason why all of the most famous authors killed themselves. Anyways, it was good talking to you again, Iggy. I'm glad you're out of jail. Try to stay out, yeah?
I'm gonna do my best.
Mm-hmm. Anyways,
thanks for having me on.
Of course. All power to the people.
All power to the people.
Talk to you when I talk to you, and I mean it. Stay out of jail.
All right. See you later.